That's probably what I do because I. Hail, and welcome to the HomeBhoys Live podcast. It is Thursday, the 31st of October. We have not been on in this sort of a guise since about the 6th of October, I think, which by my definition is about 3 weeks ago. I've been away in America. Jason's been away in Italy. Liam's been away in Lanzarote. Scott, for a period, fell off the face of the earth. But they're all here with me tonight, alive and kicking, to hear and spout and talk and laugh about a lot of things. So joined by the ever-regular Scott McCrory.
Yo, I don't think I'm ever fucking ready, mate. How you doing, Joe? You all right?
I am good. I had a great break in America. I had a great time. So money back to work, and it's been a bit of an easy ride in. So it's good, right? It's good.
Twitch is working bang on.
Happy days, Twitch is working. So I need to share these links anyway in a second. Joined by the Birmingham Irish, Liam Power.
How you doing, Joseph? You good?
All good. How are you? Refreshed? How was Lanzarote?
I haven't been to Lanzarote.
You're not in Lanzarote, no.
No.
Did I totally misread that in the chat then, folks?
I was thinking about going in December, mate, but I'm not sure.
Right. I misread that.
I've not been away since the last pod, mate, which is probably the longest I've not been away this year, or it feels like it anyway. So no. Just had my feet in Glasgow, mate, the whole time.
You didn't want to go to Atlanta and join the Magoo photo brigade?
Old didgeridoo, mate. No, I didn't. I should have picked that one, shouldn't I? Above Dortmund, that would have been a much better experience. But you felt like you were there with Magoo in the trip anyway, didn't you? You felt like a part of it.
And joined by a man went to Italy and stood the test. Jason Higgins, what's happening?
Hailll. Good, mate.
All good. We have a lot to cover, but we were kind of having arguments earlier on in the show about where we should start. And do you know where I think we should start, Jason?
Yeah.
The walk.
The saunter.
The Celtic saunter. That's where we should start.
Well, obviously Liam did it as well. So obviously I'm a member of the Tommy Gemmell Community Project, and two weeks ago was the Aberdeen home game.
Yeah.
Basically marched into Celtic Park for the statue site where the statue of the great Tommy Gemmell is going to be, hopefully this summer, getting erected in Craignuke. And there was about 60 of us. And we walked it 13 or 14 mile into Celtic Park, left Craignuke at 8 in the morning. Had a wee minute of silence for the great Billy Jackson before we left. Martin McCrum done a wee speech, and then we just started hightailing our way into Celtic Park, and it was brilliant. Everybody made it. A couple of pit stops, one pit stop at the Caesar statue in Bells Hill, and a big thanks to Mooney's, the pub. They opened up for us with water, juice, crisps and stuff like that. Photos at the Caesar statue, and then we walked up through View Park to the Jinky statue. Liam and that walked past it, totally blank Jinky. And
I was following Mick, who's one of the locals. So,
then we stopped there, and Mary Gemmell, Tommy's wife, Anne Francis, Caitlin, and Nicky, all in the committee. They were manning the cars, and a big thanks to Rab McCready. He had his drone footage. So there's about an hour and a half footage of that. And we stopped there. Peter Ross, big thanks to the Railway Tavern in Motherwell. They made the breakfast rolls. And there was another sandwich shop that forget. They gave us sandwiches as well. And we stopped there, had a can of juice, banana, breakfast roll, and then that was it. The hightail into Celtic Park for there. And everybody made it. We arrived at the main building, the new statue, just at the Celtic Way. I think everybody arrived roughly about 12:30. And then the Kano Foundation, massive thanks to the Kano Foundation, they provided some tickets for some of the kids that made it and some of the adults. And then we all ended up getting into Celtic Park, stinking of sweat. But it was fantastic. Couldn't have asked for a better day. The weather on the Sunday was biblical rain and just wind and everything. But the Saturday, it was just a right crisp morning, sun splitting the trees, and it was just fantastic. And everybody was in high spirits all the way there. And a lot of money raised for charity. So we're still counting that we're still getting some of it coming in dribs and drabs, but we're getting there. And once that money's in, and the Cross Keys, big thanks to them and Wisher, they ran a race night for us the night of the walk into Celtic Park. They ran a race night for us, so that raised about over $2,000. So a big massive thanks to them also. So I'm sure when the money gets counted up, we won't be a kick in the arse of reaching our target of 60 grand. We've got one more night planned at the minute, a bonkers bingo or bongos bingo or something in the Parochial Hall in Craigneuk. That's coming up, I think, next month. I need to get the exact date. And I'm sure we'll be near enough there. And we'll have one more big night, like a dance or whatever, for everybody culminating. And then hopefully the start will start to get built shortly. And it's all systems going. We couldn't have asked for it any more. Thanks for everybody. Big thanks to Big Cormac who came over from Dublin as well and did the march in with us. But it was brilliant. Liam done it himself. Liam finishing record speed, I think you a couple of hours it took you, Liam, or whatever.
Well, almost. I think you've covered it really well, Jason. It was a really, really nice thing to do. It was really good starting from where the statue is going to be. So that was good, and we just managed to get the first train over there to be there for the start. So that was really helpful. And like you said, the weather was so bad around the walk, but it was a beautiful, perfect day, nice and warm and sunny and dry. The legendary postman accompanying us. Always delivers, mate. So I think it came straight from Murphy's. I think straight to the walk, or not too far off.
With a carrier
in his bag, and most impressively 2 glasses to put the beers into as well. So a bit of market as well. So we've now got a WC to add to all the other various C's that we've got for our can itinerary. But no, it was good. I mean, from my perspective, it's obviously a very localized community thing, Jason, that you're doing, and I didn't know a lot of the guys that were there, so we just kind of kept ourselves to ourselves, and it's brilliant to see how everyone's coming together from that small community. And there was people in gardens kind of as we were going past cheering you on and giving money, putting money in, giving people 20s here and 20s there. And it was just brilliant to see all that, and visiting the 2 statues was really, really special as well, kind of along the way, even though Mick didn't know where the second one was and took us straight past. But once we'd done that second one, we'd already said at the start, we just mixed like we're the same. We just like to get moving once we're doing it. So we had a little breakaway group with Cormac with us. So that's the first time I met him. A really nice guy. A good long chat with him, and then he stopped off to get a specially made sandwich that took about an hour to make. So we left him behind on the last leg of it. But
we picked him up.
I did, yeah, right, okay, yeah. It was forever getting his stuff done, but it was brilliant. I think we did it in 3 hours 45 or something. We got there just around 12, and I'd strategically stashed a change of clothes and a towel, and found a shower point, so I was a little less smelly maybe than some of the others. But it was great, and then obviously you knew you had the day ahead for the football, so it was brilliant. Great to be a part of it, and delighted that if it's going to get people a little bit closer towards this final figure. So well done to everyone that organised it and that was involved. Brilliant, really enjoyed it.
Excellent, mate. No, it was great. Absolutely fantastic.
Sounds amazing, man. Fucking sounds amazing. Fair play to everybody involved. I mean, the speed with which that project has come on is amazing. It really is.
See, here's the thing, getting back to the walk, Joe, right? My granda told the stories about him and his mates walking into Celtic Park most weeks. And I'm like, so you did. In the 20s and the 30s.
Aye.
And you're like, no, you didn't. And there was this place, how could you walk in there? And see, actually, once you've done it, it's actually quite easy. It's not any great hassle. And it's one of these things, see when the better weather comes in again, and you're not getting on the Saturday, I would do it again. Just get up and say, I'm going to walk in, stop and get a pint in when he's and then get a wee pint in the way along. You know, make it.
It's very easy to just make it a thing that people do. You know what I mean? Isn't it? Because like at the end of the day, the only reason you don't do that is because there's way more convenient options. But again, it's up to you.
Aye, and it keeps you fit, you know, and it's no very strenuous. I mean, there was people that did it all shapes and sizes and all levels of fitness, and everybody made it, you know. It was brilliant. Really, really good.
As long as you're not injured, everyone can walk, can't they? Even a 4-hour walk. I know it sounds like it is a lot. Don't get me wrong; it's a long distance, but as long as you're not injured or whatever, a lot of people can carry on and do that.
I looked at on the phone how many steps, and I think at the end of the day, by the time I got home, it was like 30,000. I've done that on holiday before.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm the same. I like walking around. Like I like fucking just going out, just wandering around.
See when you go to New York and places like that, you'll do that. You know, see if you're out all day sightseeing stuff, you'll do that. You know,
but
go to Rome.
The thing with somewhere like New York is like I used to live. Like when I lived in New York, I did the exact same thing. I would like go into work, like not into work, but into the city like 4 hours early and just wander around places I'd never been, just to fucking see what it was like. I mean, but it is one of those places. But again, I'm the same. Even when I go, like, when I finish work, I generally go for a walk and I try to take a different fucking route somewhere in the town, even though I know the place like the back of my fucking hand, just to get out and fucking kind of have a walk. Right?
Aye, I mean, you go to places like Rome, you walk miles, you know, every day. You know, because you don't want to take a taxi because you're going to miss some round some corners, another fucking stunning piece of architecture, a cracking church, or just something wild for the past, and you're frightened in case you miss it. And you walk everywhere, and it's easy done. You know, so that was it was really good.
Well, there's a new idea, I think, right? Somebody, not me, not us, right? Should do like trails that start in places and follow a Celtic sort of like theme all the way to Celtic Park. Certain stops. I mean, you've kind of done a variation of it there.
Joe, it's there. I've done 2 Celtic walking tours recently. So they're all there. The boy the Shamrock does one and somebody else does one.
I thought you were taking the piss there, Joe. Fuck's sake.
I know.
That was me. That was me thinking I'd cracked some coke. You know what? No punch ever thought of.
Brilliant, Joe.
It's funny though, because it's like, see, one of the funny things about COVID, it's like COVID's introduced this concept of walking that's been around since man began. Do you know what I mean? And suddenly it's like, I have to do my steps. I have to do. You're like, if you've been walking your whole fucking life, man, or apart from the few months.
See, if you want to walk in a pub. Walk in a very busy pub.
Aye.
You'll walk like fuck.
I know. And it was really, really good. It was brilliant. Listen, I'll be back in 2 secs. Right? Sorry, guys.
Aye, class. So then again, that led us into the 2-2 draw. Aberdeen. See what it did there, Liam? See what it did? I fucking front loaded all the positivity so we could just talk about a 2-2 draw.
Your sweet talk.
I did. I honey dicked them. Right? So now we can talk about the 2-2 draw, which in fairness I thought was a good game. Right? Like I'm one of them ones at the end of the game. As long as we don't lose, could kind of go like that was shite, or can't watch it go like that was an entertaining game of football, and it was. I thought it was. I mean, that Aberdeen team are fucking. They look legit. Well, not in the first half. In the second half.
Yep. Yeah, I thought they were good. Don't know, Scott, do you want to give your view on it, on the game first?
No, you crack on now.
Yeah,
I'll just back up.
All right, mate, no worries. John, I'm the same as you, and I read a lot of Celtic fans cracking up about that view that some of us enjoyed the game as a spectacle, even though we gave away a 2-goal lead, and no one's ever happy about doing that and not winning from such a commanding position. But I really enjoyed the whole game end to end, and it's good to see a team actually come to Celtic Park with a big away support and have a go at us. And they didn't have a go at us as in battered us for any spells, but just, they were 2-0 down. The easiest thing to do would have been to go 5-4-1 for them, shut the game down and just try and get out with, without getting a spanking really. But they made two attacking adventurous substitutes, came out the blocks, And see that first goal they scored. See if that was Hatate to Kyogo that scored that. We'd be talking about that for the next year. It was a fantastic goal. It was such a good goal.
Great pass.
Yeah, the pass was just tremendous, man. That's the sort of thing that it's one of my favourite things about football, seeing that sort of thing. Great pass from McGrath. People criticising Scales being the wrong side. He was like a yard away from the guy, 2 yards, but it was just the pass just kind of took him completely out the picture there. And you know, guy's got a lot of speed. Brilliant finish as well, right into the corner of the net. And then just from there, they just kind of, you know, a bit fortuitous with the second goal, big deflection to go in, and then, you know, a bit unlucky maybe, I guess. Well, not unlucky, I suppose it goes in off his arm, but we couldn't see that at the time. And suddenly you think, fuck me, we're struggling here. We're actually going to lose the game, because in the first half we were really, really, really comfortable. You know, we scored again, our first goal was tremendous as well. Brilliant play from Kyogo, great run from Hatate, and good smart finish. Then Kyogo picks up his goal as well, picks up on a mistake from the defence, 2-0. And we were coasting, really. You know, we could have had 1 or 2 more in that first half and the game would have been dead. But second half, the critique of our team, which is fair, was we just really didn't get into the game at all, you know, and as soon as they got that first one. And we've seen this happen a couple of times in the last couple of years, where teams kind of get up and press us and get at us a little bit, and we do struggle with it sometimes to kind of play around and play out of that. We've seen Kilmarnock do it to us before, but I thought we came right back into it strong at the end there, last kind of 10 or 15 minutes. Once the goal was disallowed, really, we kind of took control back again and had some big chances to get the winner there. You know, Ida was unlucky, Forest close. Pretty contentious one right at the end, obviously off the line, and you know, the poor quality of camera work that we get with VAR in Scotland, it's inconclusive whether the ball hit his arm or not, or hit a part of his body then hit his arm. And obviously if you can't see the footage, you can't give that decision, can you really? So you know, maybe Aberdeen got away one, but maybe they deserved it on the overall balance of play. But for me, I really enjoyed it. Great day, lovely day, big crowd, end to end, a lot of goals. You know, and a team that kind of coming out of go at us. You know, I'd like to see plenty more of that. So I was not delighted with the game, but I really enjoyed it as a spectacle, albeit disappointed not to get the 3 points. So yeah, a good middle part to the day after it started really well with the walk.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree with you. Like, I mean, that the angle on that last minute block is tough to kind of take, but again, I do think they deserved it.
It's really annoying though, because you know, we'll come on to it later, but I think it was St Mirren played them during the week there or the weekend and scored a goal that was disallowed for offside, and you don't even see any angles of it or any footage of it, or maybe the lines have come out. I've not seen it, but you know, we seem to have the shittiest, cheapest version of VAR up here. That's
we've got Poundland VAR.
Yeah. And we all remember that goal that Jota scored at Fir Park, which would have been a goal of the season, and fucking the camera was on the bench. Do you know what I mean? You're like, fuck, man. So
I forgot about that.
There is a bit of frustration over that, because any other league that you see VAR in, you know, you can see that footage within seconds, you know, from all different sides. But we only ever seem to have the footage from wherever the TV cameras are coming from, which is frustrating.
Yeah.
What I would say is I caught the bit you were saying there about their first goal, and see the amount of people blaming Scales, and you're like, come to fuck. It was what a goal it was, and the ball was absolute pinpoint, and they're saying Scales was the wrong side. I thought it was McGregor that threaded that ball through with Dobby. Goal of the season, do you know what I mean? Pass of the season, you know, so go take your hat off. I don't think Scales was culpable at all.
Yeah.
Scott, can the live viewers see this said goal, or? This is brand new technical wizardry from Scott McCorry. This is actually all the goals from the game. Taddy's goal.
We don't even need to do podcasts anymore. We can just play this and sit around and watch it.
Well, you know what? People probably prefer if we shut the fuck up.
Bear in mind we're doing a podcast and all, lads. So
I know. It's okay. So here's the thing. For those of you listening on Audible on audio, Scott's playing the actual goals from the game that he spliced like he did in his garage and fucking tape. He edited it together on his computer. And we're watching the goal. That's the Aberdeen goal there, right? Fucking what a pass that is. Scales can do nothing in that fucking in that position, right?
The brilliant goal.
Pass is too good. The run's fucking fantastic, and he's got boots, right?
Yeah, Jason, you might have missed it, but I said the same as you. That was Hatate to Kyogo. We've been talking about that for a year. You know, it was a brilliant goal.
I know.
Really good.
Totally. But aye, so has everybody had their wee talk about the Aberdeen game? Is anybody else?
No.
Scott's not having to say. Scott's just showing the rest of the goals now.
Aye.
Right.
You carry on,
So
Jason.
there's not much you guys said. I mean, for years we've talked about the great thing about getting a challenge in Scotland generally only comes for teams out with Celtic and Rangers is when Celtic and Rangers are pretty crap, and that's when the other teams come in. And it's often been said that Celtic and Rangers have got to gee up the wealth they've got. Well, certainly Celtic does. I've got to gee up the wealth they've got to make it equal. So basically the suggestion is we've got to dumb down so people can get close to us. And at that point, we've still got to compete in Europe. So it's never going to happen. So see for a team to come in, appoint well, because we've spoken about it numerous times. Aberdeen, Hearts, Hibs have been criminally run. Fucking criminally run. There's only two teams in our league, and they struggle to cement third. So that's on them. There's fuck all the day with us. We turn up, and that's how we've got money. So for Aberdeen to turn up out of their own quality is really refreshing. Really, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've said it even when I done the preview pod with the Aberdeen boy. I still want to win everything. That's not going to change. It's not as if I'm sitting here telling you I want somebody else to win. But if the premise, and you'll all agree with us, if you're going to lose, son, you'd rather lose it at Hearts, Hibs, and Aberdeen than fucking Rangers. You know what I mean? So to get to the point of the game, they turned up. I thought we were pretty good in the first half. We looked determined. I thought there's a wee narrative that we totally blew them away in the first half. I didn't think they were great in the first half, but I thought they missed an absolute sitter. I can't remember the name of the boy, number 81, and he's trying to roll it under the goalie instead of just fucking it in the net. You know what I mean? And we've kind of cleared it away. But the fact of the matter is, we've got ourselves 2-0 up, and then you come out the second half, and Kyogo's missed a pinch, as I see it. So whilst I'm open-minded to walk away and go, that was a good advert for Scottish football, it was great to see them with a set of boys. It gave you hope that when the Huns turned up at their door, there was a good chance that they were going to walk away with 3 points, as was the case. Mm-hmm. However, there was a great frustration in me that we didn't do the job on the day, especially with the chances we had. The pros of that is they turned up and proved that if we're slack, they'll take advantage of it. And that alone is one of the reasons we go and get battered in Europe, because our players almost play in the slow lane, and then they get to Europe and you're in fast lane and it fucking sharps you up. You know what I mean? So more of that would be. Pardon?
No, sorry, mate. I thought you'd finished. Carry on.
No, crack on. I mean, I'm on for coffee.
No. What I was just going to say is credit's got to go to that Jimmy Tillon as well at half time, making the subs. You know, they're 2-0 down. A lot of teams would say, right, damage limitation here, but he's went for it. And I was thinking at the time, right, but obviously just into myself, and I was thinking, this is better preparation for us going to Europe than it would be beating somebody 6-0 and not getting a challenge. And obviously we went away and got the draw, but I don't know if it had any great bearing on it, but I was thinking at the time that if you were getting tested domestically on a regular basis, which we aren't, but if you were getting tested domestically on a regular basis, then it stands to reason when you play in Europe, you're better equipped for it because you know how to defend and you know how to deal with pressure, and it's very, very difficult for Celtic to go to Europe. And we spoke about when we went to Dortmund, we lined up the exact same ways we did away to St Johnstone, and you're saying, what the fucking chance have you got? But maybe that Aberdeen game was the exact tonic that we needed to go to Italy and put up with some pressure, you know, when a team's, I don't know if it was it made any great difference, but obviously we got the draw in Italy, and I don't know, but it's something that you definitely want. You want a competitive league, and you want better teams, and you want the rest of them to raise their game. And it's obviously difficult with the money advantage that we've got, but we're facing the same when we go in Europe. You know, we're playing teams that's got a far bigger money advantage than us, but you've just got to deal with it.
Well, then on we go to the travel journal. Jay,
Why do you want to do the game first?
well, I did the game first, show us the goals and those, Scott.
Aye, that's it.
Aye, no, it was a great trip. It was fantastic. What I would say is, I know you mentioned, Scott, you won't go to Italy again, and I was kind of your opinion myself, but it was the one that worked out the best time of the year for me, and there was loads of decent journeys available, and so we booked that, and it was 210 quid or whatever, 2 nights, and the flights worked out great. It was a right early start. It was a 6 a.m. flight from Edinburgh to Gatwick, and then Gatwick to Milan Linate. And Milan Linate, for some reason, hasn't got a train station in it. So I was looking at the travel guides, and they tell you go into Milan and then get a train down to Bergamo. But I was looking at the map, and Linate's like halfway between Milan and Bergamo, and I'm like, that's fucking stupid. So I googled, and there was a train station like 5 kilometres away from the airport. So we just jumped in 2 taxis and got to the train station, Milan Lambrata, and our taxi arrived in time. Theirs was about 10 minutes later, so we'd missed that connection, but they were every half hour. So we just went to a wee bar, a few Aperol Spritz, and got a cargo and headed onto the train. And the train was absolutely jam-packed with Celtic supporters coming from Milan. And do you know, I always find, you know this yourself, right? See, when you're going to see Celtic in Europe and you're going planes, trains and automobiles, right? They pull in at this train station. There might be about 4 or 5 stops between that Lambrata and Bergamo. And we pulled in at this train station. It was in the middle of fucking nowhere. This guy he's got the rucksack with the Celtic tap on, gets on the train, and you're saying, how the fuck did he get to there? Do you know, how did this guy end up at this fucking train station in the middle of fucking nowhere? And it didn't look as if it was like a cross station, you know, with links with somewhere else. And you're just saying, fucking bizarre. But anyway, so he gets to...
My question to you, I was waiting for you to say I walked up and asked him, but...
No, he was on a different car.
He stepped on and said, "Is Jason Higgins here?"
Tom, how you doing?
Oh, my man, he's the sheriff of fucking nowhere.
So we gets there, and when we arrived, so there were Celtic fans everywhere, and we went to this boozer, got a couple of drinks, and then we said it was warm the day we got there, really warm. And we were staying at the Old Town, the Città Alta, and it's right up a mountain. And it was absolutely stunning. The main bit's nice as well, the main bit of the city. So we tried to get taxis, and that's one thing about one negative for Bergamo. I think somebody said there's only 40 taxis in the city. It was impossible to get a taxi. And so we went for another drink, met Paul and Becky, and just by chance, we went to get some wine in that and to take up to the room, the apartment, and there was a taxi pulled in with 4 Celtic fans from Milan. So we said to the guy, can we get this taxi? It was a Milan taxi. He says, where are you going? We says, Città Alta. He says, yeah, I'll take you. The 4 guys got in. I was like, how much was your taxi, mate? And they're like, €230. I'm like, we just got that train there for €6. What the fuck are you doing getting a taxi? Fucking trains all the time. But anyway, so we jumps in the taxi, 3 of us. So we gets up and we to get the key for our lockbox, and we were staying in this. It was fucking beautiful. It was like a big, massive, like complex, a big like stately home with these iron gates. You had to have like the key to get in. And we're walking into it, we're walking through, but on the Airbnb, the guy gave us perfect directions how to get there, how to get the lockbox, get the key out of it, and the path to take when you were in the gates and taking you right to your room or our apartment. And we're walking along, looked right down. So you're looking down a full valley, and the Atalanta Stadium was right at the bottom of the valley. See, at night, it was all lit up. It was fucking stunning, just right outside our digs. So anyway, we get in there, but Sean and that couldn't get a taxi for about an hour and a half. So by the time they got up, we all get shifted, and we booked a restaurant down in the centre bit, and it was quite near the train station. So we'd arranged with other folk to come and have a meal with us. So there was about 12, 13 of us. A couple of guys we didn't even know. They said, "Do you mind if we join you?" They jumped on the table as well. Maybe somebody knew them, I can't remember. And the food was outstanding. But next thing, wee Eamon says, check who's there. It was the Scottish Football Intelligence Police. They were sitting there, so we all had a funky reel. They sent them a bottle. They sent them a bottle of wine. Have a drink, us boys. So So we had a cracking meal. Then we went for a few drinks, and some guys that were already there the day before, they were staying there. They says, "Look, get the bus there. Every 15 minutes, the buses come, and it drops you off right at your digs." So it did, right outside our digs. So jumps on the bus. So Sean and Magoo missed it. They were finishing a drink, so they've ended up going for another drink. And by the time they went to get the buses had stopped. I think they stopped at midnight. So they had to, there's a funicular railway that took you up as well, but that was shut as well. So they says, right, we'll need to walk it. Took them 3 hours to get up. And they ended, and it was like a mountain, Joe. It was like proper steep, right? And it was a fair distance, maybe about 3 miles or whatever. And they were
all uphill.
Unbelievable, like totally. I mean, we're all right walking down it, but getting up it, I couldn't even dream it. So they took it. Somebody says take that road there, and they were walking about for an hour, and they thought they took the wrong road or whatever. But I would have just stuck to the main road, and you couldn't really go wrong. But they were trying to go up side streets and whatever. I think there was a shortcut. So they ended up this old Italian woman. They says, "We're trying to get to the top." She says, "There's stairs there." She says, "Go to these stairs." And they says, "Jesus." They got to these stairs, and it was like a spiral staircase taking you straight up a mountain.
Fucking pace.
Sean says they go about halfway up, and Magoo was nearly checking in. the two of them, when they came in, I was sleeping, but when they got in the room, they say the sweat was blinding them.
Fucking Sam and Frodo.
I can feed them all, the two of them, fucking sober as a judge. Fucking knackered.
Larger than spirals, there he is. Lads.
So
you know what? It pays to go. It pays to go. It pays to go home.
So Big Atlan had arrived. He'd arrived early. Big mate for the Netherlands, Roda fan. So me and him got up early the next morning and took a walk to the old town that's up the top. Absolutely stunning. Went and get something to eat. Then we went in to get some cans, and they weren't selling any drink the day of the game. It says it's banned. It says you can drink in bars and cafes and stuff, but there's no alcohol getting sold in any shops. So we heads back, gets them, and then we get shifted, got the bus down the bottom, met up with a squad and sparring and all that, and end up just finding a cafe and just having a bevy and a carry on. But the interesting thing was I'd checked Google Maps, and the stadium was like a 25-minute walk. All the young team in that, they're all getting the organised buses, leaving 3 hours before the game. And it was just down for us where the buses were leaving. We were like, fuck that. Just stayed in the boozer, and it was starting to rain. And so we've stayed there maybe about an hour and a half before the game. And then Big Tony McCabe and that, they ended up going getting the bus. I don't know if they get a taxi or a bus or whatever. I think they get buses and all. But what actually transpired is, because everybody changed a load of names on the tickets, once they got to the ground on the organised buses, the police scanned all the tickets and the right name was popping up. So their passport was matching the name on the ticket, but they were scanning it and seeing that this isn't the right name. So they started putting everybody to the side that had the dodgy tickets. And so we were oblivious to all this. We were still in the pub. And they ended up kettling them for about 2 hours. But I think they were realising the more Celtic fans were coming, the more that didn't have the right name on the ticket. So they were letting those with the right name in, and the rest were all getting kettled. And obviously, tempers were starting to get flared and everything. And I think maybe about a half hour, I don't know the exact time, but it might have been about half hour before the game that they eventually relented and says, the ones just go and scan your ticket and go in. So they let them all in eventually. So we're oblivious to all this. We've ended up walking to the game, finding a boozer with Atalanta fans in it, just getting in there, getting another couple of pints, leaving there with about 20 minutes to go to the game, walking up, waltzing right in the stadium, no hassle. Half the folk with me had different names on their tickets. Nobody even checked it. I walked in the big Jim Kerr and that as well. We walked in and folk inside, did you just get a lot of bother out there? Fucking murder. We were just walked in. no hassle at all. And so that was it. And then in the game, and obviously you're in panic stations, you're just waiting the big boot and the balls. But as the game went on, I was kind of growing in confidence without openly admitting it. But it was an excellent performance. I thought Scales and Trusty were brilliant. I thought everybody was great. The amount of work Celtic put in defending for the front, and they weren't leaving themselves open. Very compact. And it was a right good performance. Albeit Atalanta should have scored maybe 3. They'd one sitter, the one the squared right across the middle, and the guy was right in front of the goal, and he's hit it right at Kasper Schmeichel, and he saved it with his legs. There was one at the back post as well, I remember. And then the guy hit the bar with a header. But see, apart from that, I don't think they did many more. You maybe tell us more, but I've only seen the highlights since. And I don't think they had many more gilt-edged chances. We had a couple of half chances, nothing great, but what a point. It was brilliant. And the atmosphere in the stadium was fantastic. They were making some racket, but the funny thing was, hardly seen any Atalanta fans at all the time we were there. You just kind of go to the stadium, they were all in the stadium. But but brilliant. And then after the game, again, we walked out. All the young team are getting into all the buses squashed in like sardines. We were like, fuck, they kept us in about 3/4 of an hour. We just said to the police, let us out of that gate, let us out, and we'll just walk back into the town centre. And end up getting a bar and something to eat. That was it. Good trip had by all, and then we left the next day. It was a long day the next day, right enough. We left Bergamo at 12 noon. Our flight was at Malpensa at 5:30. So we got a train to Milan Central, then a train to Malpensa. That was fine. Flights were on time. So we went to Luton, and great time. No hassle, just apart from the view, fucking Haill Ogden take photos.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, surely there was a good part of the trip, apart from everybody sleeping. But good likes to,
He slept on a flight, and then he took a photo of me sleeping in bed at night. What you meant to be doing? The things were fantastic and all. It's class. So, good trip. Brilliant. No hassle.
Are you making tea or fucking?
I thought these earphones were noise cancellation.
I was going to say, you sound like you're on a flight.
Sorry. Ellie's in there. So that was it. So what did you think of the game? Because obviously I'm at the game and you're maybe not seeing as much as you've seen in the telly. Was it a lot more the Alamo than I thought?
I only seen the highlights because I was travelling at the time and there was no signal, so I didn't actually see the game live. So
yeah, Scott, you go first. Give your view on it.
Well, same as everybody, you're shining your arse, aren't you? You turn around and say to the missus, right, can't be getting the ball away, can't be getting the ball away stupidly, man. Fucking it's murder police. That last game, we're getting away getting punished. 10 seconds in, fucking Hattati passes the ball straight to their guy. 2 seconds later, he's in a fucking box. Fucking, here we go. Step again. This is going to be chronic. But as you say, we kind of rode our luck. We've seen it all the years. Generally, all the good results Celtic have had, we've rode our luck at some point. And in the second half, I would say, if Borussia Dortmund never gave us that skiting, I reckon we would have opened up and went for it. I think the Borussia Dortmund game was always still in everybody's mind because they'd kind of ran out of ideas to what we were doing, and it was becoming, I don't know, I mean, like somebody suggested, do you remember we went to Ibrox, we beat them 2-1, and we afforded them that we just say, you take the ball and keep closing in because we're confident we can. And that's what it looked like in the second half without ever getting confident, because, you know, it's a good chance of booting you in the stones. But like I say, I think because of the Borussia Dortmund game, we never opened up. And the feel-good factor that point affords us right now is it was definitely worth it. It was definitely the right thing to do. I mean, you can be hypercritical. I asked the question right at the end of the game. I'm thinking, see when the ball goes on to Kyogo, you're thinking, wee man, how you not putting your laces through that? Because what he tried to do, he always tried to lob him and he go to Orang about 8 million ways, and you're thinking, why do you not just rattle that? Bernardo come on, done a good job. I don't think anybody deserves criticism, which obviously comes. He did got criticism, and I think we'll maybe talk about him in general later, but I thought he done a role, a really, really hard shift for him, and everybody done a hard shift. What I was very proud of him was there was no egos on the night. They all kind of sacrificed their own game for the team's good. I mean, Engels is a far better player than what he showed that night, but he worked his balls off to allow McGregor to play well. And for £11 million guy to do that, you can obviously feel the Borussia Dortmund game damaged egos, and it damaged guys like us. Fuck me. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as say suicidal, but I was pretty damn low on that. I mean, and to see that they're still in it and they're still fighting for each other and they're fighting for the manager, and the managers, it was great. It was great, and I was, Jason, guys like yourself, you fucking seen all the dross. I mean, you've been there, and they wee results are always bang on for you boys. Do you know what I mean? There was like I say, there was no jealousy in me that night. I was just delighted for myself, for the team, and for all you troops. You know what I mean? I was so proud of them. I must admit, I was so proud of Celtic that night.
Aye. See, before the game, did any of you have any hope at all? I had absolutely none.
No.
I had none
Do
whatsoever.
you know that, Jason, the one bit I had, and I mentioned it to my mate, was, do you remember when Barcelona beat us 6-0 under Brendan Rodgers? And then the next game was Man City at home, and Man City under Guardiola hadn't lost a game. They'd stopped them. They'd won every game. And he came to Parkhead, and Celtic turned up and showed a big set of boys that night. And that was what I was hoping for. And I'm delighted to see it came out that way. You know what I mean?
Aye. It's totally like, it's the most like un-Celtic performance I've ever witnessed in my life. You know, because we beat Barcelona 2-1, and with like 11% possession or some shit. And I was in the Nou Camp when we get the 0-0 draw with them to knock them out.
I mean that one, that was fucking.
But that was like a miracle that we get out of there with 0-0. You know, they were like.
David, sorry to interrupt you there, but you're right. Davy Marshall had a wonder game. John Kennedy had a game out of his skin.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and it was just madness that we won that. We get through that night.
Aye.
And but that the other night, we kind of stoked them. So sorry, I'm interrupting.
No. You made the point perfect. We kind of deserved the draw, although we rode our luck a bit. But our gameplay merited it. You know, we had a great shape. We kept the ball when we had to keep it. You know, we didn't like get away willy-nilly, and there wasn't like, you can't say they missed like 5 sitters. You know, it wasn't like that. And when you look at the Barcelona, I mean, how we get out of there with that, it was a bloody miracle. But that wasn't a miracle. You know, that was kind of deserved. And it was great, but it was just, I didn't see it coming. I didn't think Brendan Rodgers had it in his locker, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, like the last time we were on here, that was the main chat. Was like, "Fuck, is this guy ever going to learn?" And I don't know whether he's learned, or I mean, I am not a person to criticize that or even fucking second guess that. But that team performance it appeared to be one that was based on not getting fucking beat.
Aye. But no, brilliant. So Ian, what was your views of the game?
So, so what you said there, Jason, it's the first game I can remember, and obviously we've been smashed up loads of times and expected it. It's the first game I can remember. I haven't found a single person that said anything more positive than hopefully we only lose by 2 or 3. And like you particularly are that kind of, you've always got the positive look on how we're going to do, but I couldn't find a single person that was even predicting we might get close to a draw. And I think we were all a bit bruised from the game against Dortmund. So it was one of them where you just think, just get this game out of the way, man. Just, you need to watch it, right? But just get it out of the way, hope for the best, hope we don't get too much of a spanking, and just move on to the next game. So I was in 2 minds about what to do, whether to go to the pub to watch it or not. But I ended up going to the pub. I ended up going to Chapman's to watch it, which I'm glad I did, because I think having a few pints always kind of helps numb the pain. We were watching these games, so me and Dal went down and watched the game in there. And I've not seen Atalanta play other than the Europa League final last year, and obviously they were brilliant in that. And the boy Luckman was outstanding. And then when you look at the way we played against Dortmund, you're shitting yourself thinking, if they come at us just wave after wave of playing through the middle of the park, they're gonna kill us. Do you know what I mean? But as it transpired, bizarrely, they played a really strange. I thought, and again, please correct me if I'm wrong, they played a really strange way against us by constantly putting cross balls into the box rather than trying to come for the middle of the park in the way that Dortmund did. I think you said something like they put 46 crosses in during the whole game, that's kind of like old-fashioned British football. That's not what you expect from Italian teams, and I found that bizarre. One, because they didn't really have the guy that normally plays. I forget his name now. Scott, you might remember Scappuccino or something. The big striker who plays up front for them. If you had him playing, you might have been firing the ball in the box all the time. And I think that made a massive difference in terms of Scales and Trusty, because I think them two, you could play that all day against anyone. You know what I mean? If you're firing balls in the box, they just love all that sort of stuff. That's what they're good at doing. Whereas if you've got like the way Dortmund play that dynamic, playing in the hole sort of thing in front of me, they pulled us apart. So it was quite weird. I was expecting something completely different, and I was watching the game in the same way that sometimes I do a run. I kind of, if you set yourself a target and you tick off the first mile or the second mile, that's I was going, just get to 10 minutes, get to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, get to a quarter of an hour. That's a big milestone for us not conceding. Then 22 minutes, you just count all these little steps up, and before you know it, it's half time. You're like, fuck me, man, how have we managed to do this? But you said earlier, Jason, that they didn't have too many big chances. So as well as the way they played, they set up quite uniquely as well, I thought, compared to a lot of other teams, because they played this 3-4-1-2, and I can't think of anybody else that plays like that with two out-and-out strikers and a proper number 10. And I thought that number 10, he should have scored 3 or 4. He was making run after run after run in that space, and McGregor had a much better game than he did against Dortmund. But if it ever highlighted the fact that we don't have a defensive midfielder, and we probably need one, because McGregor didn't track any of his runs at all. And see if you watch the highlights back again, that the boy, I think he hit the bar, didn't he, with a header, even twice. But he was making the same run all the time, and nobody was near him. But luckily, he just didn't have his shooting boots or his heading on that day. So, we got away with a couple, but there wasn't loads of big chances. But that boy had 2 or 3, like I say, two or three really good headers and a couple of shots, I think. And we just didn't. We weren't really dealing with that element of it. But because they were firing in so many balls to us, then, like I said, it suited it perfectly. Now, we were quite critical of Rodgers naturally after the Dortmund game, but I don't think he did too much different. Obviously, the formation was the same. We just didn't press so far up the park.
Mindset.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly that. We were much more controlled in the pressing. We let them have the ball in different parts, but we just looked much more compact there. And we probably could have done a little bit more going forward. Mieda was kind of, I don't know if you noticed, again, you probably would have noticed at the game, Scott, you might have picked it up, but Mieda kept on doing this thing where he found himself in the middle of the park, and this is obviously intentional. And we were trying to play a ball over the top for him in the centre forward position, so he must have been spinning round or spinning off, and he was quite close to getting through a couple of times, but never quite made it. So you could see the distinct things that Rodgers had done in terms of just tightening us up, making us a bit narrower, and finding a way to kind of counter. And Ida, I thought Ida was good, but kind of good at the start, drifted out quite quickly. I thought Atati was good, but drifted out the game pretty quickly. But I quite like that whole having Ida on for an hour and then bringing Kurgo on when the game's opening up a little bit and the players are tiring out a bit. So I thought he did that. I thought Schmeichel was good. It wasn't the thing that I've been talking about the whole. He earned us a point. He did make one or two terrific saves, but he was good. The two centre halves, great. Valley was really good as well. Johnson, I think he's just becoming a top draw player for us. The midfield kind of still finding our feet a little bit there, but Mieda and Kuhn played pretty well. But it was quite weird because the second half you actually started to relax a little bit. You're still waiting for that fucking goal to come, that sucker punch right up to the last second, but they just seemed to run out of steam quite quickly. And I think after the game, listening to certain pods or stuff, I think they've had a few goalless draws, or they've had a few times where they've not scored goals at home, which is a bit of a weird thing because I think they're the highest scorers in the Italian league. I think somebody was saying. Well,
the game after us, they played Hellas Verona. They were 5-0 up after 34 minutes.
Yeah. It's madness, isn't it? So yeah, it was
in the Italian league, so it's top team.
But as Scott said, you're just absolutely delighted for everyone that was there. You know what I mean? You're like, any positive result we get is brilliant. And obviously knowing a lot of the boys that are gone, so you're just delighted for them that have made the trip over. But yeah, just expected absolutely zero, less than zero from the game. And I was buzzing. I was so pleased to get that point. And it doesn't take the pressure off us, so it doesn't really change what we've got to do. We've still got to win 2 more games. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's a bit bizarre in that regard. It doesn't massively help us point-wise. But then again, if we get a draw against Leipzig, say, next week, then it's a couple of points you might not have been expecting. So it does give us a bit of a buffer. But it's more about the mental side of it. It's more about the confidence for the players, for the manager, for the support to say, look, we've shown that we are capable of going and playing in a more structured way and a more settled way and kind of containing good teams. So it was massive for that as well as the point that we got.
Yeah, well said.
I think the point could be massive, Liam. I think every point in this Champions League is massive. Definitely, especially away from home. I mean, we'd 3 games away from home that you're not getting into them with confidence. Like Dortmund, Damon, Villa away. I expect us to beat Dinamo Zagreb. I think we could. We probably won't, but I think we're more than capable of beating them. And your young boys in Club Brugge at home, you're more than capable of winning those. The RB Leipzig, that'll take care of itself. They're a good side. They're sitting with no points. So obviously they're under heavy pressure to get a result with us. That could go anyway. But it sets it right up brilliant. And as we're standing now, we're in an amazing position to try and get one of the 16 places to take you into the playoff. But if you beat Leipzig, in the next game, it's at the fucking 7 points. You could potentially be in the top 8.
But see, when you're saying it's right, or Liam saying a draw and somebody saying a draw, I'm kind of thinking like I'm a you, Jabo. I'm more like fucking win that game and you're somewhat off of the races, no?
Oh, you imagine we were to beat RB Leipzig. You're basically looking at the rest of our games. Villa is the only, but Villa are top of the Champions League at the minute. So by the time we play them, they could be playing. They could be playing the reserves. It's.
I said that as well, Jason. But then someone pointed out it probably will be that almost every team will have something to play for, even maybe on the last day. Villa could be 7th or 6th, for example, and just on that brink of it, and even finishing fourth, you've got you know, on paper you've got a slightly easier game, because that was my hope that, you know, Villa might just rest it, and they did that last night in the cup and got knocked out, which was a really good opportunity for them to actually win it. So, you know, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm loving this new format of the competition.
Just
really
want to say, there's a lot to chew over, isn't there? There's a lot of
Aye. You're watching every game, though. You're interested. Whereas before, I'd just be our group, and the rest it doesn't really bother me. But now it's like every like, shit team, if they get a result, you're like, you bastard. You know, you want all the favourites to win just about every game, apart from yours.
But that's the interesting thing, that Leipzig haven't got a point yet, have they?
No, none out of three. They've played tough teams.
Yeah, they have.
You know,
they have. So,
do you know what? Is that good or bad, though? Is that good or bad?
Well, they're under heavy pressure, Joe. Because, I mean, if they come to Celtic Park and we get a result against them, we'll need a bit of luck. But we're more than capable of doing it. But can you imagine them sitting after 4 games, 0 points?
I know.
You're punctured then, is it? Like, I mean,
and Scott, I sit at the joint top of the Bundesliga, but
top, mate. Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
How good are they?
See, the thing is, they're understated. The way Leipzig. See, I was supposed to speak to a Leipzig guy tonight, but the guy fucking stood me up. For my research anyway, and for what I know about them, they've got the plan of we buy young, but we don't buy cheap. We buy young, and then we punt on, and then we kind of. So they generally don't have big, massive names. In the Champions League, like Jason says, they get beat 2-1 off Atletico Madrid, who scored in the 90th minute. They get beat 3-2 off of Juventus. I'm pretty sure they were winning in that game, but I'm not sure. And then the last game, they get beat 1-0 off of Liverpool after starting really, really impressively. Yeah. So they've lost 3 games against teams above them that legitimately they should be getting beat off of, but they've pushed each of them. But as Jason rightly says, a slip up against us fucks them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll talk about that in due course. But in terms of them as a team, right? Marco Rose teams, you can all remember when Salzburg came and they kind of played us off apart, and then they played us off apart when they beat us 2-0 just recently. And that was Marco Rose as well. So it's like the third time we're come up against this guy. And he's certainly got a style of play. The fast, they like to put pressure on it, and then it's all about attacking fucking with total speed. Everything the day up front is all fucking very quick. The goalkeeper's been doing injured. I don't know if he's going to be playing. And Xavi Simons, who's been a fucking great player for them since last season and this season, he's likely going to be missing. 2 big things missing, however. They always sign really, really strongly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I honestly, if you offered me a point after the new, I'd take it.
I probably would as well, Scott.
Yeah, me too.
And then see if you can come out of this game with a point. I think you then buckle up and tell everyone this is a tournament starting now. Because these games that we've played, Slovan aside, they've kind of. Well, I wouldn't say how they went how you expect, but
they've been nail biters. Nail biters.
I mean, but they're the tough ones. The next one's coming up, and then as you say, you want to get to a point, if possible, the Villa doesn't matter for us to qualify. That's where we want to get to. So I'd take a point. I think Leipzig are a great team. I really do. I think they're so understated because they've not got the big names, but. Marco Rose, I don't know. It's time for us to stand up against him because he's been playing the same kind of football since Salzburg. Do you know what I mean? So,
Aye. And see when you actually said about, no, I mentioned about Villa maybe having nothing to play for. I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility. We'll have nothing to play for.
That's the hope.
Aye, because we could be sitting in about 20th or 18th, but you can't drop down below the 24th, you know, and you can't get to the 8th. So there's
there's every possibility. I mean, I'd bite the hand off you for that, but we could get into that game.
I think, Jason, it's back to what I said earlier, though, and it's knowing Celtic, you could, lose that last game and end up playing fucking PSG in a playoff instead of playing, someone that's a bit.
So here's the thing. I've got my head around how it works now, right? But I've not actually thought about the qualifying. So does it mean that if you're in the 8 qualify, does the top 4 play away first?
So ninth place will play 24th place.
Right.
And
Okay.
24th, 24th will be at home first, and then 9th will be at home second, and then 10th will play 23rd. And
so it goes like that. Okay, got
it. So in theory, the lower you finish, the higher you're going to face a higher up opponent.
Right, got you.
But it could still be PSG could be 16th or whatever. There could be anywhere. It's just your luck really at the end of the day.
Aye. But I get what you're saying. By the end of the 8 games, everybody's in the position they're in merit.
Yeah, exactly.
So whoever you're getting, don't get me wrong, there is a case that some people, like us included, some people the draw's been kind to them.
Yeah.
If you look at Leipzig, the draw's not been kind to them so far. I don't know what the rest of the fixtures are like. But some teams will have harder draws than we've kind of landed. But,
I mean, we've been looking. I think that 2 or 3 of the teams we've drawn they've got rid of the managers already, and they've really struggled. But then we've not played them ones yet. So it's all about timing, isn't it? Really, as to when you catch someone. I mean, Bayern Munich Villa beat Bayern Munich and beat them comfortably, but Villa might have a dip out in a couple of months' time. So you just catch people on a bit of a crest of a wave sometimes.
Aye. But it is, I'm with you, the format, obviously, that's part of the reason that we've got 4 points to the board after 3 games, right? If we're sitting with no points, we're like, fucking this new format's a load of shite. But aye, so far so good, and just enjoy the journey. It's next week we're playing bloody Leipzig. It's coming round thick and fast.
Yeah. There was something in the Athletic, I think, and it kind of showed. And Celtic are one of the teams, and I think they picked the 6 lowest ranked teams or something. I think combined, it was like a minus 40 or something after 2 rounds. The games that those teams have played, but which is fair enough. That's fine, but it's definitely better for us because there's more weaker teams in it. So there's more teams that we've got a chance of getting something against. It's not like they put 4 or 8. Pot 1 teams into it extra, the extra teams that come from the bottom. And I said that back in the summer, that's always going to be a benefit to us, more so than the other teams that are higher up.
Aye. So far, so good. And we've not even mentioned the fucking Dirty Dozen yet.
I'm going to get a drink.
Well, then, do we talk Motherwell and Dundee, or do we just start laughing? Or what do we do?
It's fucking, I don't know. It's up to you. I don't really like talking about it, but I think we'll make an exception tonight.
Well, I suppose what we should do is we should turn it to like a, rather than include them in the chat, turn it into like a Rangers section from now on.
That.
Just like a wee segment on the show. Do you know what? We'll need like a theme tune going forward. I think for the rest of the season. Let's check on the Rangers. Let's check in the Rangers. Something like that. There. I'll map it up, fucking do it up and stick it in and make a segment out of it because it is never ending fucking insanity, right? As much as I take all the joy in the world out of it, you look at it and you go, not even how did it get here, but how did you let it get here?
It's bonkers. I mean, it's just the shit he's coming out with now as well, isn't it? It's just bizarre.
Toenails. Fucking toenails.
What's the plot? I've got my own theory. I reckon he's just wanting to get sacked. He's lost the dressing room. He's fucking all over the place. He's realising. But obviously, when he signed that new deal, he's bloody they've obviously told him, because he came out and said it, didn't he, that he had to downsize, he's got to cut costs, he's got to reduce the wage bill. You know, he still had money to spend. And you look at Jimmy Tillon with Aberdeen, he keeps using this new players pish, 7 players. Jimmy Tillon had 6, a team that was the bloody laughing stock of Scottish football. And look what he's done with them. And how much, what was his, and he's lost his best player, Majowski. You know, and just the way he's turned Aberdeen around about is unbelievable. I think that's their 4th sellout this season.
Wow.
And the boy they bought, Jason, I forget his name now, who's started on fire this season. He's been injured for the last kind of 4 or 6 weeks.
Aye. But I think that's Aberdeen. Somebody was mentioning it's the first time they've had 4 sellouts since, I don't know, it's like mental amount of years ago in a full season. Because even when they play us or they play them, I don't think it's sold out.
Yeah.
There's gaps, and they're sell. Was that Dundee United game a sellout? Because they've only played Rangers. They've not played us there yet. So the Rangers game would have been sold out, and they've sold out 3 others. It's fucking brilliant. I mean, it's right good for the game. And I tell you, the manager looks as if he's got a bit about him. You know, he knows his onions. So, really good. But anyway, Big Philip's just a fucking parody now, isn't he? He's fucking turning into Coutinho.
See, when you say that, that's fucking hilarious, isn't it?
It's fucking mental. And they've all Yardy shite last year. See when he fucking had the comeback for 10 points, and fucking, it's just mental. And I don't know, but I just think he's lost the dressing room. I'm expecting Motherwell to beat them on Sunday.
Expecting's a bit.
Aye.
Do you know what's interesting? You remember he won his first 10 games or something, but I think they have something like 9 penalties.
9 penalties.
In 10 games, yeah.
What about that the way back last night? They've had 1 penalty so
had
far.
one,
I think they've had 1, but they had 9 in the same amount of games last season. Because the amount of games that they were winning by a goal when they were on that unbeaten run under him, you know, and they've had no penalties. Well, 1 penalty or whatever. So, definitely. It's definitely had a massive impact. And, but it's fucking, I mean, the fans are fucking grafting up, but they're as daft as.
I was just going to ask, has any of you spoken to anybody who has seen the light?
Well, this is the thing, Joe. They're not even angry anymore. It's not even that whole staunchness. They know
Apathy. It's apathy.
Complete browbeating. They're completely fucked, and like offering little resistance to the whole thing. And most importantly, they know it's got to get worse still. Right? This is still we're not even reached the bottom yet of where this is going. There's your Halloween laugh.
Happy Halloween. The zombies are going down.
It's just mental. It's fucking, the pressure the players must be under as well, you know, playing in front of that crowd. And the thing is, they're leaving, and their mother will get extra tickets sent to them.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't sell them.
Yeah. See if you just look at it from simple economics, right? They've got to cut costs, right? So they're going to make the team weaker. Every time they make the team weaker, the less successful. The less successful, they get more income coming in, so they can buy less quality players, and on and on and on you go around. And they're just the only way is down for that whole process.
And
unless they get very lucky.
And there is no sugar daddy.
No. Even if there was, you can't do it anymore. You can't just put 50 million in and say, there you go and use that. That's the rules don't let you do that. Newcastle can't do that. And they've got a whole state behind them. You can't do that in football anymore.
Here's the thing. Did capitalism catch up with Rangers?
That's a fair point, Joe.
Is that what happened?
Certainly socialism, hasn't it?
You know what? It is fucking the glorious tragedy because it's just so satisfying.
And so the thing is, the supporters will know if they start chucking it and don't go, then they're putting less money into the club, which makes them even less viable and less opportunity to buy better players. And it's a vicious circle. It's like when you just take the plug out the bath and you're just watching that water disappear.
You know it's still 3/4 full, but you know the invitable's about to happen in the next 5 minutes.
Your balls are about to get very cold.
That was the time. I tell you, Joe, when Linda was pregnant with Rory, I took Ellie up to my ma's. So she's like, I'll go up for a bath. She was heavily pregnant. We're up in my ma's. And then we'll come back about an hour and a half later, and she's here shouting, Jason. I'd take up. She'd let the bath water out and couldn't then, she'd put sucked into the bath and couldn't move. She's lying there freezing. I kicked that towel. I grabbed that towel.
Oh, man.
You know what are you doing?
Stuck to the bath.
You know what the bath gets you in the water.
That's an incredible metaphor. Rangers are stuck to the bath. The water's run out and they're stuck to the bath.
Did you listen? We get in the car last night driving back and stuck that Clyde phone in on that guy Serge at the end. Fucking hell, man. I was wetting myself. But I've listened to the podcast on the way into work this morning. The wee guys like, it's no Rangers anywhere, it's strangers. That's a belter. It should be called Strangers instead of Rangers. That's a belter, wee man.
I came home from the game, watched Sports Scene end to end, and then was watching some Rangers podcast on YouTube afterwards, some live reaction for the game. And it's like 1 o'clock. You're like, got work tomorrow, man. You're thinking where there might be some emergency cans stashed away in the house somewhere. It's not good for the old health, I tell you, but brilliant.
But it's not even just the team. Did you see Mastermind, the Rangers TV Mastermind?
That's wrong.
What did he say for McLeish 2018 or something?
There's a 4. Something like that. There's a 4, something like that. I don't fucking know.
And see for Sunday, Jason, you're saying about the tickets, right? They're completely shitting it for Sunday because they're actually terrified of winning on Sunday, not losing. Because if they win and we've won on the Saturday, then they know they're going to get absolutely battered about before Christmas in the final. So they're in a no-win situation there. They're dreading the thought of getting to the final and getting bashed up by us.
I'm actually really looking forward to Saturday because
me too.
The atmosphere will be outstanding, but I'm very confident we'll beat them. Very confident.
Really? That strong, aye?
I don't think they're that good, Scott. I think they're organised, right, and they put a shift in, but I don't think they're that good.
Right. I don't disagree with you. What Aberdeen are doing the new, right, so everything's going for them now, right? And I'm not saying they're lucky. I'm saying, see that game last night against the Huns? I've watched that. Huns, Aberdeen have only beat them, I think, say, twice or something in the last fucking 15 years at Pittodrie. It's not a lot. There's been loads of draws, and the Huns have won a load, but there's not been many Aberdeen wins up there. And how many times has something happened to Aberdeen? Like they're winning 1-0 and fucking a penalty in the last minute, or fucking somebody scores an own goal, or they miss a sitter and they got the part, and they just never ever get a wee bit of the rub of the green. But see the goals they scored last night? I mean, the boys try to score a header. He's fucking sliced the header 1,000,000% wide, and it fell to a boy at the back post and fucking smashed it in. And then you see their winner. They're getting it's no luck because of the way they're playing.
Aye.
Is allowing them to get the breaks, right? It's like us and the Huns usually when they get penalties. If you're going to attack 90% of the time, 90% of the time you're more likely going to get a penalty. I mean, that's a fucking. But the way Aberdeen are playing, I think it's the fact that Aberdeen have been that bad and that laughable the last couple of years. He's organised them and he's put a load of belief in it.
Yep.
And they're living off that and they're fucking confident. And it is admirable. I mean, see the 2-2 draw. I was frustrated with it. But see, as a football fan, you've really got to take your step back and kind of go,
100%.
Aberdeen need to take the credit here. We'll wait until the next day, then we've got to kind of step up. And I would like to think that we've seen enough of them to think, yeah, we can do. But the fact that my last 2 times we played them, in my opinion, we should have beat them twice by the end of the game.
Yeah.
And the last 2 times, the semi-final, we went to penalties, and then that time we've drew 2-2.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, carry on, mate. I'll come up. So just to say, I think, a couple of things. I think that semi-final there really took us by surprise. Again, they scored a brilliant goal early on for Miofsky. We got back in. We're winning, 2-1, and we were just really bad defensively on them 2 goals that we conceded them balls to the back post. But I think 2 things. One, I think it suits us playing good teams, and Aberdeen are a good team just now. Not a brilliant team, but they're a good team just now. So I think that will get our team up for it. But 2, and probably the biggest thing that came out of the game last night for me, our game, was, we rested Johnson for an hour. Carter Vickers played an hour back in. Scales got a rest. Valley got a rest. McGregor's had 2 games out. Hatate got a rest. 2 wingers got a. We are going to be, touchwood, we're going to be full team, full fitness, rested and ready to go. And, Aberdeen put a fair old shift into that game last night. So I do think we've got an advantage in that regard over them as well, that we will be a bit fresher and a bit fitter for this game on Saturday. But I think playing a good team is better for us rather than playing someone that's not so good.
Aye, I wouldn't disagree with that. I wouldn't. Aye, but I just think, obviously we spoke about last night, right? But 6 changes, right? But that's going to benefit us massively come Saturday, I would think. With the kind of schedule we've had, we've got our big guns now. I mean, obviously, Adam Ida, we don't know what's happening there. But is anybody got an update?
No, I listened to the Rogers conference, and he just said, we don't know whether we get scans till we have a good look.
Aye. So we've kind of rested our big guns for Saturday. And it'll be interesting to see the defensive partnership that he uses. So, I don't know. I think he'll go with Scales and Carter Vickers.
It has to.
I think so.
Scales cannot be dropped. He's done nothing wrong to be dropped at all.
No, but I think Trusty's looked really good. I'm really surprised because at the start I wasn't kind of too keen, but I think he's looking really good now, and it's brilliant to see. Having 3 cents, and obviously Carter Vickers. I mean, he's a rock, right? He's without a doubt our best central defender by a country mile, but he can't be trusted to be fit. And when you've got day 2 now, you're feeling great about it, but just fingers crossed, Carter Vickers. We've been a toe injury. It's not like a hamstring or whatever, it's like, hopefully it's healed and good to go. So hopefully he gets a right extended run, because he's nailed on to start if he's fit.
Yeah.
But I think resting a lot of the other guys, obviously, McGregor, is he going to be fit for the weekend?
I think he was back in training, was he not? I thought
so.
And having 2 games off, we know that won't be a bad thing for him at all.
No, not at all. I think it should be.
Sorry, lads, I was listening to Sunday night. I think it might have been the Celtic Exchange I was listening to, and they seem to suggest that Rodgers has already kind of indicated that McGregor and Ida are going to be available for the weekend.
Right.
Okay.
But don't hold me in that. I heard it on somebody's pod today. It was either Celtic AM this morning or Celtic Exchange tonight. And they said that it's been kind of confirmed that they're ready to rock and roll. So I hope that's correct.
Aye, that's
So-
massive for us.
So here's a quick question for you, and I was going to bring this up later. But so who would your 3 midfield players be on Saturday? I'll go last there, but
I would if McGregor's fit, I would see. I'm a massive Bernardo fan now. I
Me
think
too.
Bernardo's been excellent, right?
me too.
And I think so. To me, it'd be McGregor, Bernardo, and Engels maybe. With Hattati coming off the bench.
Yeah,
I don't know, but Luke McCowan's been brilliant and all.
Yeah.
But
He's as sharp as fuck. He is sharp
But
as
I
fuck.
think I don't think he's earned a starting spot like constantly yet. I think he's done great, and I think I'm massively impressive. I'm over the moon with him. What a signing he's been.
Yeah. So Joe, who would you go? Who would your 3 be?
I would go McGregor if he's fit, obviously, and
John Collins.
Batman Finlay.
Paul Hartley. No, fucking McGregor. I'd go Engels as well. Probably Hattati.
Yeah, Scott.
For this game, Engels, Bernardo, McGregor.
I'm dead interested because I think, and this is not an overreaction, I think Engels has flattened out quite quickly. He's a young kid who hasn't played much football, right? We shouldn't forget that. But I think he's really flattened out quite quick just now. I still think he's going to be a massive player for us moving forward. But I was interested to see what you thought.
See, the first couple of games, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
How the fuck did we sign this guy, right? And he has, as you say, Liam, but I think he's still really good, and he's a penalty taker. And we've not got many of them in the team. And what I would say is his
Jason
corners,
wins the argument. Well done.
his corners have been pathetic. You know, see, you look at Andy Halliday's corners at Motherwell. I know we've even got there yet. They corners right to the back post. They knew what they were doing. Engels had about 3 or 4 last night and didn't get by the first defender.
Yeah.
On?
And just while we're on that, it's a real bugbear of mine that we use our tallest players to take
corners.
We can do that another time.
I think Engels is the dead ball guy. He's the guy that I think he's going to take off free kicks. He's going to take penalties and he's going to take corners.
Yeah.
I don't even cheer when we get corners.
Aye. Well, I think we've scored 3 goals for corners this season. Second best in the league. Somebody scored 4. We've scored 3.
That's a lot for us, isn't it?
Aye.
Yeah, but we've had 58.
Aye, no, about 96 or something. with about 22 in one game.
Aye. Fucking scandalous, man.
So for me, I think McGregor, Bernardo are the 2 best midfielders on form, and I think you could pick any from the other 3 there for that third spot. Just interested to see what I think. Engels will get the nod because I think the money we paid for him, I think we'll persevere with him, and probably rightly so because he's got all the potential in the world there. But it's just been noticeable how much he's flattened out to me.
Aye, I know. I think so. Let's do Motherwell, right? Then we'll do last night. So Motherwell, what did you think?
Oh, the goals are on screen.
I thought it was much more comfortable than we've been used to being there for most of the games. I thought without being brilliant, we were comfortable and in control most of the game. I was delighted to see McCowan start and then get his goal.
Yeah.
But it was a game we never looked anything like losing at all. And
well, the first 10 minutes it was kind of dodgy.
Hitting the post and that, But
Miller scores.
Other than that,
2 woodwork.
Aye, I mean the first 10 minutes you're like fucking hell, but after that it was just it was happy days, and 3 great goals.
What about that? Johnson as captain?
Aye, and I didn't know at the game because they had black armbands on for them. We never even mentioned it. Rest in peace, Tommy Callaghan, Celtic legend.
the only player Jockstein signed twice, and it was great. And fair play, the Dundee fans were brilliant as well. See, there wasn't many of them, but when they did the minutes applause, every single one of them was standing up applauding. So big kudos to the Dundee fans last night. Very, very sad. Seen him at loads of games. Celtic daft. One of the few that you've seen at loads of games, no ex-players. And very, very sad. But as Seamus Duffy said on the way back, walking back up to the King Lud from Motherwell, he says, that old age is a cunt of a disease.
Do you know what? Fucking, that's very true.
Aye. But where were we again? Okay. Because everybody was wearing black armbands, me and Mick were like, who's the captain? And we were trying to guess. And I didn't pick Alistair Johnson at all. I only found out after the game that he was the captain. But well deserved, because he's turning into an absolute fantastic football player.
You want a worse one than that, J-Bo, right? So we clocked who the captain is because we were in the game a million fucking hours early. I was hungover to fuck. We never. I looked at the team. I don't know many times, right? We looked at the team 3 or 4 times. Me and my mates stood there, pound on the first goal scorer between ourselves, and or next goal scorer, as I say. And sure enough, we never even noticed Callum McGregor wasn't playing. I looked at the team about 18 times. Never noticed once until somebody McGregor no leading us out.
And we credit you as the analysis man.
Oh, mate. Well, I'm telling you, the demon drink's destroying my body.
That's where he's been, folks. That's where he's been. And slapping.
At least I've been podding, Joe. All right.
I am not criticizing. I'm only
keeping the shit go.
Do you know what? There's been plenty of complaints.
Oh, you know, wankers.
There's a console.
Joe, listen. Since we stopped podding, we've been narrowing the gap wider over that period of time. So fucking, that's what we need to keep doing.
Do you know what? See if we just shut shop now. I think if we just shut shop now, we'll win the Champions League.
Joe, you've still got us finishing the top 8. Remember, that's on digital.
I know. Do you know what? I don't think it's completely.
Stop talking.
They couldn't get after a better start, really, when you think about it.
Do you know what? The gods are with us. I feel the energy. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? No, you can't. Perfectly. Right. So, Motherwell.
Aye. I was the same with McCowan getting the goal. What about your man Kettlewell after the game? His interview. What the fuck? It was like 3 lucky goals and fucking never a sending off. You're like, what the fucking plan are you on? I get it, you bum up your own team and whatever, but come on. But rocky 10-15 minutes at the start, and then it was just happy days. Celtic were magnificent, and it was great to be there and see it, because, as I say, last season, both games, last minute goals rescued the points for us.
We drew 0-0 at Celtic Park with them.
Aye. So, and by the way, they're 4th in the league. This is their best start to a season, God knows how long. Get up to Tannadice. And I watched the Aberdeen-Dundee United game, and Dundee United, it was a 50-50 game. That's why I was saying Aberdeen, I don't think they're great shakes. And then Motherwell got there and can beat them away. A decent side, but we actually fucking destroyed them. And McCowan, I'm loving him. He's got so much energy as well, and he knows where the net is. And all right, he gets a wee bit of lucky bounce, but he's tried to beat the guy. Yeah. How many players do you see don't try and beat a guy? They run, and as soon as the defender gets in front of them, they'll turn and pass it. It's good to see somebody having the gumption to try and buy somebody. So he gets the break of the ball, but great finish. Then Alistair Johnson go, a cracker, and I thought Big Eda's go, what a ball was for Kuhn. Kuhn was mad, right in front of me. Scott, now you seen me at the game where you actually down in front of me in the same section.
No, like I said.
Oh, you were at the top, sorry. You were looking
I was up the stair, and then at half time, we came down and we were standing about 5 rows behind you to the right.
Right, got you. But I thought Kuhn was absolutely brilliant. And the ball into Ida, and just what a striker's goal, just perfect. The perfect run, just arrived there at the exact time. The ball gets put right to his feet and just fucking dispatches it home. Brilliant. And happy days, I loved it. Thought it was excellent. These guys.
It fucking was. As you say, first 10 minutes, some of our passing wasn't great. The defenders seem to have made of the ball. We were making erratic fucking passes. And then, as you say, the goalkeeper thing happens. He hits half the post, then they hit the bar. 3 or 4 corners, it was going to the boy at the back post. He sees at the back across. You're kind of going, this is a way to fuck. And then the wee man pulls that out of nowhere. And then after that, it was almost as if the game just totally changed. What I liked about Big Trusty playing on the right was he ended up passing to Pally more than he was missing out skills, and he was passing further into their half. And I thought it was great momentum for us kicking into it. Do you know what I mean? And then the second half was a canter. And like you said, how many times we've been up there recently and you fucking struggled? I mean, I don't know, Ange kind of had the beating of them, but last year was fucking tight enough, wasn't it? So I was delighted.
See on a point you made there, right? We were actually talking about this. We were actually talking about this last night. It's a big bugbear of mine. See the amount of times, especially defenders, when they're hitting the ball about the back, but see the amount of times when you can miss a guy out and you're actually creating a chance.
Yeah.
Whereas they play the easy ball and then it's slow and the defence has got organised. You need to be doing that more often, because we've got that chance quite a lot, because the way we're set up, there is no need to play it to the guy nearest you. You can play it to the guy furthest away from you. It stretches the play, and they've got less time to settle.
Right. I was watching it last night, mate. And see, currently with the Wayne's team, right, and this is no me trying to fucking tell people how to do football and all that, right, but I've been trying to explain to Wayne's how a 1-2 is the simplest way of fucking taking people out of possession. And see, Celtic, like today, will pass the ball to you, you give it straight back, boom, straight back.
Quite a lot. Yeah.
And it's supposed to draw people out, but it's certainly not against teams like Dundee. See, when you do it with 3 and 4 guys, it works better. But how frustrating is it watching it? Even last night, where Bernardo, he'll run in and Engels will have his back to the game, back to the goal. He'll pass into him and he'll just get the ball straight back.
Aye.
And fucking Engels or Bernardo is in the exact same position he was 2 minutes ago. Now, these guys are professionals. I am not telling anybody out. But as a match-going fan, it is frustrating to watch, because it doesn't seem to fucking often drag people out.
No, the Dundee defence hasn't moved a fucking jaw.
No. Aye. But, I mean, I understand what it's for. I don't know. Like I've said, I wouldn't have Hatate playing, because I think Aberdeen will offer us a wee bit more space, and we shouldn't need to do that. But that's what I make Hatate so good for guys like us, because Hatate tries that through ball, that clip ball, that ball in the channel and all that stuff. So, but again, like I say, fucking for non-footer players sitting watching that, you're like, we doing.
Aye. What about yourself, Skip?
For Motherwell.
You had the pleasure of a few pints in Craig Newt's finest hostelry. Well, only hostelry, but
it was good. Just good day again. Like I said, it was always enjoy going through there. It's good. Get to see the same faces, and it's always a good game out there as well. Good to get a few pints early on, walk up to the game, and then, like I said, I thought it was pretty comfortable. I was kind of forgetting a bit about the first 10 minutes there, and quite interested on what people's thoughts are on Lennon Miller as well as a player. Thought he was really good at the start, but I thought he did disappear out the game fairly quickly. I'm not sure just how good of a player he is. I'm not saying he's not or he is. I'm just he's got all the attributes.
What the
Hasn't he?
fuck are you saying there?
Well, that's what he's physical. He's good technique, but he didn't really dominate the game, or he didn't really kind of have much of an influence on the game. Once we got past that first quarter of an hour, I didn't think he was too much in it. But obviously, we've talked about on here many times about trying to buy the best of Scottish young players. But and we talked earlier about who would you be your starting midfield players. I think if he came to us now, he'd really struggle to get game time with us. Not sure he's ready for Celtic yet. Whereas the other mob, I think he'd walk into their team and be a starter for them straight away.
I agree with that.
It reminds me of Turnbull, to be honest with you.
Nah, I don't see that at all.
Do you know? No.
Nah.
He's a lot more physical, right? He's a big laddie, right? But I don't think he's not got like the mobility of Luke McCowan. I don't think so.
Yeah, he's not got much pace. I don't know. I didn't notice much pace off him, but
he's a quality player. He's definitely a quality player. But fingers crossed, he does all right in the game. But I don't know if I wouldn't see him getting into our team at the minute. But
no chance. I don't think at all. I mean, I would like to see him in a squad going to Italy or something, taking advantage of that fucking. What's the best way to describe it? The good grace that Scottish football players are getting all there now. So I'd like to see that for his own benefit and stuff like that as well. Do you know what I mean? And Murrow, it would be nice to see Murrow get a decent fee for him. But like you say, would I want to see Celtic go and buy the boy just so the Huns don't get him? Nah, no, really. Would I like to see him come in and kind of improve and get there? Of course. Do you know what I mean? Because guys want to keep going and we want to keep fucking Bernardo and Engels forever. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. Right now, there's other places we need to buy players.
Have we mentioned Aida's tackle? The red card?
Terrible.
Wild.
Really bad. It doesn't matter how you dress it up, but slow-mo and still it looks a lot worse. Fuck off. He fucking injured the guy.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And I think it was lucky it wasn't planted.
That's what Roger said at the press conference. He said, thankfully, he said the ground was wet.
Yep.
He said, had the ground been dry, he said his foot would have stuck. Fuck me, man. Talk about small margins. Like, fucking hell.
He's a cunt.
As a wee aside on the Turnbull thing, obviously, I'm still a big fan of it. I hope he does great. But my mate, a guy I know, a guy Al Worth, he goes to every single Cardiff City game, and he texts me, "Look, got a new manager," and they're playing in the middle of the park, and he says, "What a difference he's made." He says, "Oh boy,
really?"
Aye, he says the last 4 games, he says he's been outstanding, and they've started getting results. They drew 0-0 away to West Brom the other night. I think they've started getting a few victories because we're bottom of the Championship, and he says he's been a revelation. He says the fans are all taking to him right away, and he wasn't getting a shot before. They were putting him out left and stuff like that. So I fingers crossed the boy does well down there. Good to hear.
Yeah, good news.
Fantastic.
Hopefully it turns around for him.
We on Dundee then?
Dundee.
Well, we don't have Marty Flynn here to tell us about his.
I know, as I said, Marty was out of the man. The 40s were absolutely brilliant, weren't they?
Oh, brilliant. Marty Flynn, riding on the boat. Marty Flynn. Yeah. Fucking wish he was here, but he's having a party. So we're now watching the goals against Dundee on the screen. If you're an audio listener, and I mean that penalty, that's fucking. Your man going no, going like you pulled the guy's fucking arm back. You should be taking. That's definitely a penalty.
Fairness.
Yeah, he did, but I mean he's so small and slight. Even we talk on a guy with his momentum is going to fucking it's going to cause
See
that.
this goal, Joe, right? I don't know, well, Scott, wherever you're sitting, but Engels fucking dragged the guy back right at the start of the passage of play. I was convinced that penalty was going to get chopped off.
We was saying it as well, but the ref was in front of it and didn't pull it.
But surely VAR would. I think someone said today if we'd have scored, it could have been chopped off as being a foul at the start of the passage of play. But
surely the same goes for the penalty.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Does it though?
That must.
Yeah, that's the fucking question, Joe, because we're not sitting here and don't know the answer.
I know, but VAR's such a fucking kind of obscure thing at times that you
probably VAR probably wasn't fucking working. Do you know what I mean?
Again, it's Poundland VAR. You're not going to get the full fucking ticket. I mean,
it wasn't, Joe. It wasn't like a subtle tug. I mean, he grabbed hold of
his
the
arm,
guy and held him.
Yeah.
So I was surprised it was given, but yeah, good in the end. I thought we were obviously we made a lot of changes. I thought we were pretty poor first half. I thought the wingers were poor. Palmer was having a particularly bad night. Yang wasn't doing much. The fullbacks weren't great, and that's always a risk, isn't it, when you make that many changes? I was pleased to see him do that, but the risk is you're always a bit out of sync. But Kyogo, fucking them chances he had, that second chance he had, my God.
It's quite frustrating, Kyogo's.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to come on to that, Scott. He's, I wouldn't say worrying, but he's not scoring as much as he should be scoring this year based on how we're playing and the chances he's getting. And it wasn't like he just brushed the post. He put it about 3 yards wide when he was right in front of the goal.
I do think he should be putting the laces through more things.
Yeah, it's a good point. The first one, he did well because he took it down well and got himself in the space, obviously, with the run. But I think it was a pretty straightforward finish once he'd done that for him. But you could give him a bit of slack with that, taking the ball on the chest and whatever. But the second one, fuck me, man, that was a sitter. And yeah, as always with teams like that, if you get the first goal, then you're expecting to roll over them a little bit. But
I know. And fair play to them, they were organised, etc. But we need to be better. But then it basically highlights that when we make that many changes, we're not that good. And is it just to be expected? Because I think Rodgers used the term "they're no in the rhythm," and I thought, me personally, and I don't want to pick the guy, but I thought Greg Taylor was awful all night.
First half, terrible. Yeah,
but I mean, Vai's been brilliant, and obviously
he has. Greg
Taylor deserves his Chapman. It's his first game back, right, and he's been a great player for us. But on that showing, when you're lining up Saturday, I would definitely want Vai to start the game.
I think he will, Jason. I think he will. I think he'll do that. I think he picked that team with Saturday in mind, personally.
I do as well, Will. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I said this after the Falkirk game. I think we've got to do this, because we're trying to be serious about the Champions League this year, and we're hoping to play 10 games in the Champions League this season. We've got to rotate the squad, and I'm always a believer that if you've signed players and they're part of the first team squad, then you've got to be expecting them to be good enough to step in and play for you.
Exactly. I think you're at that point, Liam. You're at that point that Rodgers is kind of going, right, prove it to me. Yeah. And I can see a whole bust of guy. I mean, like, I'm all for one. I still think Yang's a good player and Yang could be, but Brendan Rodgers is very much here and now. If you're not doing it for me, I'm not waiting on you. You know what I mean? I'll maybe catch a young boy if he impresses me, but I don't think we're at the stage. Remember, Tam Rogers got like fucking 6 years before he fucking eventually turned into a player for us. Don't think you're going to get that. I don't think you're getting that. If you're coming in here and you're getting 7-8 grand a week, you better be doing a job or you're out. And that'll be better for us, won't
it? Yeah, definitely. And I think you look at Palmer, he's just not a Brendan Rodgers player. Do you know what I mean? He's too greedy, he's too selfish in terms of what he does, and that just shooting from all sorts of odd angles on the hope of getting the odd goal here and there. But I think he just proved that the squad's not as strong as we thought it would be. But you can see some obvious areas where he'll go for his next transfers, won't you? We'll definitely need another winger, probably in January, if not January this summer. And fullbacks, left backs, still a bit of a problem area. Obviously, we might have Tierney and Robertson there next season if all the stories are to be believed. But you got to give these guys a bit
definitely
of
one of them.
Throw that out there, Brad. Just throw that out there.
There we go.
In the know.
But I think we'll get the benefit on Saturday. Like I said, we'll have
And the
hopefully a
sea
full
will, like,
And this year. Maybe
good night.
know what I heard as well? Celtic seemingly had a deal for McTominay. See,
Right.
that was a while back. There was some deal in place that McTominay was coming to Celtic. And he seemingly fucking wrapped me up out there.
Here, I get those updates on Reddit, McTominay updates. He's a hero already.
By the way, funny, who told me this story? Who the fuck told me?
Reddit.
Anyway, so him and Billy I can't remember. Him and Billy, but it's definitely right. Him and Billy Gilmer are over there, and Billy Gilmer's going to Italian classes, so he's immersing, trying to learn. McTominay, no, he's talking English in a fucking Italian accent. Let's get him by.
Joey Barton style.
Because I think Gilmour's obviously got the thought that he could be there for a good few years, and obviously McTominay's like, I'll be here a couple of years and that'll be me done, and he's not doing it. But you think to yourself, if you went over there, just out of respect, you would start trying to learn the language, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you were living there, you try to make possible conversation.
100%. I mean, the amount of free time you've got, right? It's not that you've got a fucking squad of mates with you, or you're going to be going, you train and then you've got free time at night, and you think you would be better in the Italian language courses to try and learn it.
I know, but here's the thing. You need to think about how people think about language, right? I'd say he thinks you have to learn a language. You really don't. You kind of acquire language by kind of exposure. I've got a linguistics degree. I know this shit. I mean, so it's one of those things where, like, if you don't think about a language in a certain way, you're never going to fucking actually go and engage with it. He thinks you have to learn it. You don't learn it. You just engage with it, and your brain fucking adapts. I mean, that's kind of how language works.
I mean, I know for a fact now, see, especially, I thought that Duolingo wouldn't do me in. I've been doing it for years in Spanish, right? And when I go over there to Lanzarote or whatever, and I was in Madrid when Ellie was there, I can totally understand what they're saying. I can read a Spanish newspaper now, no word for word, but I could read an article and understand what they're talking about.
Pick up the idea. Pick up the idea, like I.
And I can answer people. I couldn't engage in a conversation. I mean, I'll go into a restaurant. Restaurants are easy because you can order food and you can say thanks and please and all that kind of stuff. So you can get by and you can read a menu. But I'll be able to have like a very sort of shitty conversation with somebody in Spain, no bother. But no, I wouldn't. But if I lived there, I reckon I'd pick it up very, very quickly.
You were doing that when we went to Madrid last time at 7 a.m.
Aye.
Drinking lemon beer.
Aye, but 100%. You totally. I mean, I still do that Duolingo every day, and you just know now when you're looking at stuff, you know exactly what it means.
Because here's a mad thing, right? See, whenever I was like working as like a fucking music sort of tutor going around the country, I would work in Irish schools, right? And they would let me do the kind of teaching in English as long as the kind of the video or the fucking podcast or the song was in Irish, right? But I learned that by being in these schools that the kids that had the essentially dual language abilities just seemed a lot sharper. Honestly, it just seemed a lot sharper, a lot more clued in, and this kind of discipline of speaking that language made it just had this effect on them as young people. There was more responsibility to it. So I was like, right, cool. I want to send my kids like the Irish school. But whenever I ended up going to UCD and then like studying linguistics for 3 years, I always wondered, like, my daughter could never explain to me. She goes, I don't think in Irish. She goes, I think for Irish, right? And when I went to study linguistics, they were like going, that's how language works. You don't think in a language, you think for a language. Therefore, when you learn another language, right, to any degree, right, your brain essentially compartmentalizes it in a certain place, going like, right, well, next time we need to go and do and engage with that language, we're going to switch codes and go over to this fucking part of our brain where that language exists. So you don't actually do it. You just engage with it that long enough that it just fucking becomes part of your brain. It's a fucking mad science.
Yeah, definitely. I was terrible at school doing languages. I think
Oh, me too. I speak one language, West Belfast.
That's enough. That's plenty for anyone.
Wow.
Aye,
But anyway, are we?
Aye, so that's fair play to Billy Gilmore. McTominay's a fucking idiot.
Billy Gilmore's out there fucking ordering all kinds of food. He probably just has McTominay going, come with me, come with me, come with me, come with me. My friend, come with me.
Right, do you know the funny thing? See, me and Linda went to Italy a couple of years ago. I changed the Duolingo to Italian like 2 months before it. So I was doing that every day, and it's kind of strange because seeing Spanish, like Spanish and Italian are very, very similar. See when you're you say certain phrases, but the Spanish invert the words from English. So you'll say, a couple of examples. I'm not doing any examples, right? But anyway, they change the word. So you need to say that, but Italian doesn't. It's you say it the same way as in English a lot of the times. So I was like, and I'm going out there and I'm trying wee bits, and I was end up speaking fucking Spanish to them. And they were laughing, and they're like, but they kind of got the gist. And at the end of the day, they were kind of appreciative that you made a go. This isn't fucking some daft Brit here that's fucking speak English to me. They're very appreciative. And even in Bergamo, it's like grazie mille and like prego and stuff. Just shitty things that don't really mean much, but they appreciate it,
Good manners, definitely.
Aye.
To do that.
Aye.
I remember one time, me and Fiona went to Barcelona one time, right? And this is years ago, like, when Lucia was only a baby, and 20 years back, 19, 18 years back. And I was like, I'm going to go to Barcelona, and I'm going to fucking speak Catalan to a taxi driver or something like that. So I learned from this book, right? I got this book from the library about Catalonia, or Catalan language. I learned how to explain where I was going in the hotel. I had the fucking address, I had the name of the hotel, I had it all figured out. Got there, got the taxi, got off the bus, got the taxi, told the guy I was going. He drove me 3 kilometers and charged me €50. And I was like, you know what? Either my Catalan's pish or this company's just going, fucking, this guy's a dick.
Okay, do you know as well? We bought every train ticket, no bus tickets to be fair, right? We didn't know where to buy them, so we never even get out on a bus. We were getting buses fucking all the time up that mountain. But we got the train for Linate to Bergamo, then the train for Bergamo to Milan Centrale, the train for Milan Centrale to Malpensa. Bought all the train tickets. Fucking 5 train tickets each time. Never get the fucking thing looked at once. So like, yeah, bastard. There you go.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
So is there any more away trips planned? Higgins travel in effect at any point soon again?
No, Villa away.
Villa away.
Villa away.
That's kind of simple, isn't it, though? That's kind of just down the road.
Aye. I've got things organised for that day. Get us away for the baying mobs.
What's the train time down to Birmingham?
Oh, that's
4.5 hours.
fucking the time.
What?
Was it, Liam, 4.5 hours?
But yeah, 4.5 hours. Yeah, with one change, 4.5 hours, more or less.
That's enough time for chaos, isn't it, though? That is.
All the buses, Joe, I spoke to loads of people who are going. All the buses are going at 7 in the morning, so everyone's going to fall off the bus at 12 o'clock in Birmingham ahead of an 8 p.m. kickoff. So you can imagine what's
That's going to be carnage.
The crack will be.
So that's gonna be fucking. And will you be equally as ticketed out of your nut down there as you are?
No. I've no idea what I'm even doing yet, Joe. So I've got Zoe hounding me to try and get down, but we'll see. I mean, I can do it 100 different ways. Do you know what I mean? I can get down, I can work down there, I can stay with family, I can do whatever I want to do, really. So I'll wait and see. But the tickets are going to be a real challenge for that game.
Yeah, I'm hanging a bit playing it.
I know, Scott.
I think I'm off playing it.
It is one of the thing is I've no been to Birmingham for ages, and because I work down there, I love the city, right? So hence why we've got things planned to go after the beaten track and enjoy it. Because I think, see if you end up doing that Digbeth, as Liam says, landing there at 12 noon, it's just going to be full of fucking thousands of absolutely fucking zoomed out their head maniacs. And you fucking can see that far enough.
They're all
that's true.
They're all opening at 10 o'clock. They've sold 3,000 tickets for three different venues next to each other down there, and they're all opening at 10 in the morning. So you imagine what the state of these places by about 5 o'clock.
That is gonna be fucking.
And you can imagine the Nick you'll be in at 5 o'clock.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Fucking not even be able to talk, and then you need to get to the game, and then fucking. And the thing is, Digbeth is nowhere near Villa Park.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is, if you're going to be using public transport, because let's face it, I suppose maybe I suppose the buses will be taking them to the game because they'll be leaving straight after it.
Well, but there's no easy place. I don't know where they even park, Jason, to be honest.
I know.
They don't have buses like we do up here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, Liam. So Villa Park won't be able to cater for 50 away buses. That doesn't happen.
No chance. No.
So where are you going to park?
Well, this is the thing, Joe. So if you're going down in a supporters coach, right? So these supporters buses will be going, and there's tons that have booked to go, right? 90% of the bus won't have a ticket, right? So my thought process is the buses won't be taking them at the stadium because 90% of them will be still in Digbeth. They'll be watching it TVs. Yeah. So the buses will. So if you need to make your way from Digbeth to Villa Park, dodgy.
Yeah, it's like going from Partick to Celtic Park, but without the direct train. You know, you have to go right into the town and come right back out again. It's really not. It's not an easy thing. And for anyone that's not been to Villa, Jason, you obviously have. The train takes you to that little Witten Island, but it's tight as fuck, man. There's no space there. There's no room at all, and the home fans and away fans are just right mixed into one there. So yeah,
and the thing is, I mean, you can walk to the city centre for Digbeth in 10 minutes.
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
So you can go up to New Street, but getting to Villa Park is like so. Hence, I've got ulterior ideas that I'm not sharing with anybody apart from those that will be going.
The Higgins Travel Underground Rail is fucking full effect.
You'll be eating your fucking best curries on the planet. Guzzling Guinness with Sikhs and West Indians.
That's the best way to do it. Man.
Seek and you shall find.
Right.
Speaking of people we should find, Marty Flynn joining on the show.
There he is.
Marty Flynn.
You're fucking Mr. Halloween. How you doing? Trick or treat.
Fucking Smeagoljuice.
I just lent my face out there for somebody to haunt a house.
See, before you start, Marty, right, we'll obviously get the rundown of your day yesterday. It looked absolutely fucking brilliant. But can I just say to you, fuck the Yankees.
I kind of knew that was coming.
Fucking waiting on it. I was actually surprised he didn't text me.
I was waiting to this moment.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was fucking. What time? It was about 10 to 3 last night. And the bus driver, I said to the bus driver, just drop me off right here. Fucking perfect. Just the bottom of Donegal Road. And we're staying with my ma. And taking me that over to my ma's. And I checked my fucking phone. And it was 5-0 to the Yankees in the 5th inning. I was like, that's great. Here we go. The fucking comeback kids are on. I got round to the fucking house and I checked it. It was 5-5. And it was still the 5th inning. I was like, what the
I know.
fuck? Bastards. But
We'd have swept you as cunts if we'd beat them.
oh, here, the Dodgers beat us in June or July. I watched it. I watched the series and they were outstanding. Like I didn't expect us to win the World Series because they were fucking excellent. But it was good to be in a World Series for first time in a long time.
There you go. If you're not in, you can't win. That'll make you.
That's it.
They 100% deserved it. They pumped us in all in the semis.
They were brilliant. That's my mate. My mate's actually a Mets fan, and he texted me the other day. He says it's actually great to see Freeman pumping somebody else rather than the Mets. You know, so
Anyway,
Welcome back to Mets, boys.
we haven't gone away, you know. So, Marty boy, give us a wee rundown of your day yesterday. It looked fucking brilliant.
I had a champion fucking day out yesterday. It was great. So, look, I suppose I've said this a few times on the pod. I'm a member of the Ballymena Shamrock and have been for quite some time. But I travel with all the CSEs. Always did. You know, right back to St. Peter's, John Hughes, Ergo Bra, fucking Bear Madigan boys over in North Belfast, all of them. I've always travelled with all of the CSE. So I'm a member of the Shamrock, but I don't mind travelling. I've good relationships with everybody. So Shammy Dyer runs at AC Rayleigh's club, and he put a post up about 2 weeks ago and said, listen, the Dundee match is during the Halloween break. He says, so we've made a decision that we're going to take all the kids for free. If you've got a paying adult, you know, it's during our half term. No, Scotty's half term was last week. It's during our half term. He says the kids have no school in the morning. We've managed to we'll get the 11 o'clock boat out, and we'll have hopefully be on the 11:30 back. So he says, well, it's a long day. They don't have fucking school the next day. And I said, no, that's a fucking great thing. So if a guy had 5 kids or 4 kids, all the kids' tickets were being covered, just had to pay for their travel. So I said, look, stick me in a wee man there, and I'll try and fill the bus. I'll take 2 seats. So right enough, bus was full, no problems at all. So it was like the fucking kindergarten express yesterday. All the fucking mad kids, all heading over. So I'd put a message into the thing a couple of weeks ago, just saying, look, because usually I would go on the piss. I'd usually head over to Vogue or whatever, because you get into Glasgow at 4 o'clock. I mean, you have 3 hours in the booze if you time yourself right. But I didn't want to do that with the wee man there. So Liam says no. There's the trampoline park's not that far away. So. Actually, when I got onto the fucking bus, my wife's cousin was on the bus with the wee boy and her family, so meant them two, our wee man and him tagged along. I was Emmons on all day, fucking Chum City. So we headed down to that flip out place, went in there, brilliant crack, what a spot, outstanding.
Good. I'm glad you liked it.
Oh fuck, the kids had a ball, and then we got a taxi back up to the ground just after 6 o'clock. So we just missed the team going in, but some of the players were coming out. They must have been filming the Christmas video last night. Did you see Tony Roper? Did I send you the picture of Tony Roper? Well, I see the fucking gear he was wearing. He's on the fucking Celtic Park in a pair of Celtic pajamas. And then they brought some of the players back out to do to simulate coming off the bus. So it was lots happening. It was buzzing. You know what I mean? It was good out crack, and it was good crack in the boat, as we always do. So it's good to see everybody, Edzo and Shamey Dara and Emmons, but it was a fucking sweat to get back to the bus last night. Jesus Christ. So Dara had us all warned. He said, listen, leave the park at 9:25. We're leaving here at 20 to 10. We'll have to get away. And we just fucking made that boat and no more by the fucking skin of our arses. The driver was a fucking legend. He bombed us down the road. So we did back to Stranraer. But we got in early. I brought the wee man in early, and he got to meet fucking Hoopy and Hailey, and there was a whole wee crowd of kids all squealing for Kyogo, so he joined them. They're all Kyogo, fucking trying to get his attention. But we went in and sit down anyway and chatting to a couple of boys beside us, Scottish fellas, and they would know the people who would regularly sit there, and they were chatting away. And then next thing, this guy walked past and I just clapped, and I went, "Here's my short strand." And he went, "Oh, you're fucking Jackie's husband." And I went, "Fuck's sake." So this fella has moved over there I hadn't seen him in about fucking 15 years. He ended up sitting beside us. So what a brilliant day. Wee man loved it, enjoyed himself, had a great time. Obviously, I said to him, because he was complaining at the first half because he couldn't see because all the action was up the other half. And I was saying, don't you worry about that. I says, it's the second half will be down here. This is the Celtic game. This is the end they all be scoring. So fucking right enough. We got 2 goals. And just after the penalty, then we had the fucking skedaddle. So we flew out and got onto the bus, and then everybody was back on their phone. So we actually watched the end of the match sitting on the bus. And then some people had the Aberdeen match on as well. So it was just a brilliant day. Grand day out, good crack. And obviously, I had no drink. I mean, I was sober the whole day, but we had great fun. And it's always great to see the kids' reactions when they walk in. You just see the size of the place. They're walking up a Celtic way. It's just a pleasure. Like, really is. Great day. Grand day out.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Superb, mate. And the game, the jinky the game.
I think my attitude now is Brendan Rodgers' attitude is I'm going to use these fucking dickheads for 60 minutes and then I'll throw on the real team to win the match. you know what I mean? Like Palmer and we were all just fucking our head in our hands going, what the fuck is wrong with these? Like nothing was clicking for him. Tony Dalton's not a bad player, but like you can just see he needs an extra 3 seconds to deal with the ball. You know what I mean? The balls are. It takes him much longer to trap the ball down, and you're going like that's a fucking basic skill. How do fucking footballers be playing football every day and not have that nailed down? Do you know? And I'm not overly criticizing. He's a decent player, but you can just see where it gives the other team that extra time to react. It slows the whole thing down. Yang again, just nothing was going right for him. Do you know what I mean? Just like fuck, it's like how many fucking chances do you want here? And the same with Palmer. Do you know what I mean? If everything doesn't go completely correct for Palmer, he doesn't know what to do. He's just like devoid of ideas, and you can see he has ability. Do you know what I mean? But it's just that you understand what Brendan Rodgers is talking about the type of player that he wants in his first team and why. And you can see the gears just being gone through them when the subs came on. That they're the A team. And there's a reason why these other guys are in the B team. But look, Johnson's goal was brilliant. He just like that run he made in to meet it was just fucking superb. That football intelligence, like we've talked about that before.
Well,
he's
kindy like
he started the move more or less.
But he's took on this mantle now that he's going to start getting goals in his feet. I mean, the goal at Motherwell as well. He's making these runs and he's confident of getting on the end. There was one after it as well. He nearly got on the end of another one. He made the run, but the ball didn't come through to him.
And it's just as well, Jason, because Kyogo's form shocking. Like there was one in the first half where it was seriously easier to score. Like he needed to put it right.
Second chance. His first one he done all right, but it was his second chance.
It was the one where the easy ball was just to tap it into the right hand side of the goal, but for some reason he took an extra touch and tried to drag it left, and you're going like, what the fuck? And it just went wide. So you're going, what's going on? He just has not at all seemed to, and like that can happen to a striker. I'm not saying that we should sell him or anything like that. But my point being is, it's great that players like Johnson are weighing him with goals because they're getting you by. Where some other teams would be totally reliant on the pivot, on the striker at the top. So if people like Johnson are weighing him with goals, thank fuck. And it was great to see Engels getting the goal. I didn't think Engels did much. Maybe you maybe had a better view than I did. We were quite low, nearly on pitch side. So it's yourself. It's hard to see the shape of the game. But he didn't really seem to stand out much. But even just the taking the penalty and having the confidence to do it and scoring with it won't do him any fucking harm at all.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, Marty. Just for saying he's kind of flattened out a little bit the last few games. Just kind of
And Rodgers addressed it last week. Like he wasn't shy about it. He says, "Listen, this is a young man. This isn't the finished article. He's coming here to learn too." And like, users kind of judging him by the amount of money spent on him. But sorry lads, that's not life. And you can tell that too. And again, with Cal McGregor being out too, do you know what I mean? He's the one who would be talking through the game, sort of thing. So it's like it's probably a missing piece of the jigsaw. That Cal McGregor's a type of player that could make somebody around him better. But I thought Bernardo was great. He's everywhere.
Yep.
Fucking hell, he was
Been
up
really
and down
good.
the pitch and
Yeah.
there was a ball and Maida as well. See in the second half, Maida was in front of me. It's actually in front of me, and 35 seconds later, he was at the Green Brigade. So we were sitting in front of the boys, and about 20, 25, 30 seconds later, he was at the Green Brigade making a tackle, and I turned to the fella and went, "Is that Maida?" I went, "What the fuck?" He was like here like a second ago. Do you know that sort of mentality where you're just all over the pitch, you know, just keeping fucking, you know, not really sticking to your role, but being effective everywhere. It's just like that's fucking brilliant, you know, absolute class. So you could tell Dundee started to wilt then, you know, just the later it went, and we probably should have had more, you know. So, but the whole fucking thing was overshadowed by what was happening fucking up north.
Aye. So we kind of
I've just done a retweet there on our homeboys, and it is a bumper thread of pain. Video
yeah.
pain.
Like I've said, this like my hundmates all gave up weeks ago. They were saying, "Look, we know you don't even need the fucking Slaggers anymore. We've all give up. You know what I mean? We've surrendered."
So
I think I said,
I spoke to one guy at work today. He goes home and away, and I just said to him, "They fit a pattern." He comes out and starts talking away to me. He's like, "Well, what I've heard is," he said to me before it was on. He says, "I've heard Gerrard's got the sack and he'll be back in." I'm like, "I'd be delighted with that."
I mean,
He's like, "What?"
absolutely, you're right. You're totally right.
And
But
he's like, as if you know, be shiting yourself if we get him back in Messiah. I'm like, fucking hell, bring him back, man. Fucking be class.
Fucking Brendan Rodgers ragdolled him for years.
Bring him on, coming back, motherfucker.
But here's the thing: he can't come back to them because he can't come back to the UK, or he's got to pay tax on that money. He's there.
That's right. And he just was it you said he had signed a new deal recently?
Like it's sacked. Well,
No,
sacked.
no, I think
says. Scott said a 2-year extension.
He signed a 2-year extension in January.
In January, like not that they're lost for money, but fuck hell, it must be bad. You know, if they were prepared to back him to that extent, like and then next thing
Fucking come on, signed an extension in fucking June.
I know, but listen, so Chris Boyd, because that's what I'm saying, we managed to get back onto the bus last night. So I was watching the coverage on Sky and all, we're passing around fucking, no Bluetooth headphones, so we buns in your ear, we were passing them around the bus, so everybody was laughing at Chris Boyd. So, but that's what he was saying, like, or was something one of them was saying, like, they fucking give this man an extension, and Boyd says, I know, but they had no choice. And like we all know what happened, you know, he'd obviously clearly been sold a pup. You know, he'd been told that there was money for him or whatever else, and then he realised there wasn't. So they've obviously went and went, look, you're right, but did sell you a pup. So here's what we'll do: we'll bump your wages, and we'll give you an extended deal to keep your basically to buy your sailings. But then Chris Boyd was saying that, but now the club lost all their leverage by doing that. You know what I mean? They could have let him walk and replaced him, but now they're locked into this mega fucking contract with the bastard. But what they were sort of intimating that they were saying that if there was some level of points difference, that there was a termination clause in it. So this is the latest wheeze they're coming off with. I will be fucking astounded if Clement agreed to anything. Why the fuck would you agree to a termination clause? So basically they're saying like, no, but he's not fucking stupid, Joe. There's no, I can't fathom that would be the case. Like, so if it's like if you're 16 points behind Celtic, we can sack you.
I would agree with that because I reckon he's at the wind up with him now. He's once sacked.
Yep.
And he's just fucking talking absolute shite after every game, just saying, just fucking sack me. Yep. But they won't because they can't.
But the other thing is too, is not only like can they not do it for monetary reasons, but Gilligan, this fucking dickhead that took him over, was out blatantly saying over the summer we cannot keep sacking managers in October. So he's not getting sacked in October. You know what I mean? He said it. We need to break this rhythm of fucking bad start, sack, new manager, and bounce, money spent thing. So they're going to raid or die with this fucker.
In fairness, it's November tomorrow.
No, but here they're not going to sack him in November either.
Let it rain, Marty. I said let it rain.
They're not going to sack him in November either. This is the point. This is what he's saying. They're going to fucking hang on to this fucker. And at that time, for some reason, his stock was really high over the summer with their fans. They loved him. They were going, yeah, he gets the many mans, blah, blah, blah. But they're not fucking saying it now. Because as Jason said, he's literally taking the cunt out of them. He said that was their best performance last night. What the fuck's the state of their season going to be if that was their best performance?
The toenail comment was the best though.
Fucking mad. Absolutely fucking mad. Now, you have to allow for the guy. You have to allow for the guy for not speaking English as his first language, but come on, the fuck? What are you talking about?
There was that same fairness. I mean, I don't understand why he's not getting sacked. There was a guy on Clyde saying he sent a video in of him fucking shooting. And he didn't understand how the somebody watched it.
I mean, you've got to take your hat off to the guy as well for the sheer brass neck of him, because he's out there not giving a fuck.
No, but they have no leverage over him at all, Jason. I mean, they don't even have a board anymore, really. Do you know what I mean?
Wait. Now I tell you, I was going to use a laugh. So see the guy I was talking to, the guy goes home and away. So I said to him, why did you give him an extension in the summer? You've got to realise the guy who gave him the extension, he was suffering from mental health issues. That was his excuse why Clavort got a fucking extension, because the guy running Rangers had mental health issues.
Fuck. Yeah, in fairness, he might have a fucking point.
That is probably the best explanation I have ever heard.
That's one over the cuckoo's nest fucking part.
But
big,
do you know what I mean?
Nicholson in HR.
They don't really have a board. You know what I mean? They've got this Dick Gilligan who's like filling in about 3 rules. Do you know what I mean? Everybody else has kind of washed their hands. They just want their money back. You know what I mean? When the time comes, they're and like they were part in that. I mean, I know we don't like talking finance. Or some people don't like talking finances.
We're confetti going to get fucking.
But they were trying to dress up a £17 million loss as a victory. And you're going
because it's not the player trading model. It's so the running cost of the club actually broke even, but we just lost in the player trading model. Oh, that's all right then.
But also the big cherry on top, no litigation.
I know. What the fuck? The bastards are mad. Absolutely fucking mad as fuck. Yeah. But Scott wasn't you were saying you were talking on him and he basically just said everything that we were saying.
That's as I say, they're kind of new fucking saying the stuff that we've been saying at them for years and years and years ago. I don't know how we didn't fucking why did we not go and buy Division 1 players when we're in Division 2? And you're kind of going, well, we said that at the time. And I don't know how, I mean, see if we did that, but it'd be all right. We're kind of going, well, we did say that to you. And I don't understand how we let Charlotte as like Charles Green in and all that. And we're kind of going, well, we did tell you.
I remember like being in, was it Alcudia a couple of years ago? And the boy gave me his son ledger. He goes, even though you're a Celtic fan, he said, I'm leaving. I said, oh, they're on the side. There's chatting away to him. And he says, I reckon I'll give you that, a challenge this year. And I think Rogers had just come back. And I was like, you know what, mate? I said, no offense. I said, I think you're all being robbed. I said, as fans, I think you're being robbed. And he was kind of affronted. And I was like, oh, cheers for the fucking sun ledger. But that appeared to be the case. They've just basically just juiced.
Well, they were saying there was one of them on last night. And I was driving down the bus on the way down. I had the Clyde phoning on. And one of them was ranting and raving about being robbed. And he was saying that. He said, like, to have us on this major scheme, you have to be on a list to get a season ticket. That's just robbery. Like, what the fuck? He was going mental. And it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and all that stuff about, record levels of whatever. But I'm going, because you're being fucking robbed. They're robbing the fans. And the fans think it's great. They're going, oh, no, we're all right. We're nearly broke even, blah, blah, blah. We had done this, haven't done that. And I'm going, oh, no, but at what cost? And like I heard last week, was it you, Jason? Somebody told me last week that they couldn't sell their semi-final tickets and they were going on general sale. And I literally took out a pinch of salt. I was going, oh my God, that couldn't be fucking true. And it is true. Season ticket holders allowed to buy 4.
No, Marty. They've actually handed tickets to Motherwell now to sell.
No way. Fuck.
Seriously. Motherwell's
fuck.
So Motherwell season ticket holders were cracking up because they told them there was 13,000 there, but they'll give them 7 to start with. And if they sell them, they'll release the rest.
So they sold the 7,000, and Motherwell came back and says, we want more tickets now.
Jesus
And they
Christ.
come back and says, no, we've allocated them to Rangers. We can give you some South Stand tickets. So Motherwell's, that's a fucking disgrace. You told us we'd sell a section and we get the next one.
Yeah.
And then 5 or 6 days later, they come back to Motherwell. Okay, we've got his East Stand tickets now if you want to try and sell them.
Fuck.
Because
Holy
they
fuck.
went general sale to their support and they couldn't sell them.
And they were allowed to buy 4 at a time. Like, it wasn't like an extra one. You know what I mean? It was fucking, they were selling them in handfuls. So if you had a season ticket, you could have 5.
When was the last time at a Celtic game you had a general sale?
Oh,
yeah.
Ronnie Taylor. Surely. It would
Uh-huh.
have been Ronnie Taylor. Yeah.
Probably.
Fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? But, they are genuinely being robbed, you know, and all this talk about breaking even and, you know, healthy books and stuff like that. It has come at a serious cost. And no matter, it doesn't matter what club you are, if you're Real Madrid or Barcelona or Man United, you can only do that sort of stuff for so long, and you can't do it when you're losing. You know what I mean? People will go happily along with whatever if things are going well, but there's not a chance you can do it when you're getting beat. And like they're going to be back to, fingers crossed, they're going to be back to like 1980 levels of support. You know, when we were kids, fucking Celtic used to fill half of Ibrox.
Can you imagine, right? Can you imagine they actually, loads of them just give up the ghost?
That'll be great.
But the thing is, that's them finished.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, I know they fucking...
Part of me in my mind thinks Rangers will be the football, the first fall in loyalist culture will be Rangers.
The whole thing's falling the fucking apart. For fuck's sake, they're looking over here.
But they will be the Eiffel Tower that falls over.
The Masonic halls are being sold.
But, hey, Marty, I was raving Masonic hall for 2 years there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So the one beside me is now an Indian church. Fuck me.
Fucking
it's mad.
Let it roll.
And they can't understand why. This is the whole point. Like if you read Fall, like Smoked Up does a brilliant roundup on the huddle board, now and again he just takes a big thread from Fall and just bangs it on. And you sit and read it all day. You know what I mean? It's massive. And they just have no, like it's angry man screaming at the cloud stuff. Why does everybody hate us? You know what I mean? You're going, fuck me, mate. Take a look around you. You know,
it's a lack of self-awareness that baffles most normal folk.
And this is the mindset, right? Because it's all about standards and the Rangers standard and all this fucking shit. Craig Moore was on the Go Radio show today. I tuned in there at 5 o'clock. I was jumping in the shower, and he was giving it that bollocks. Richard Goff was there to tell me what to do and set the standards and all the fucking standards. And then there was fucking one of a similar thread on the huddle board today where Smoked Up had fucking taken it and it was like Jimmy Bell is there's nobody setting standards. And one of them said every single player should be brought into the blue room and, you know, dipped into our history, like soaked into the fucking history of the club. And I'm going, mate, TripAdvisor have it on it that it's the smelliest fucking club. You know, when you go in there, it smells like fooshed. And what are they seeing? When you know what I mean? When they go into the blue room, they're seeing a bake. Ceramics from all around the world. They're just looking at going, what the fuck have I turned up to? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you go into Real Madrid's fucking trophy room, you know what I mean? It's like fucking stunning.
It's an experience.
You're getting into there and it's like fucking, you know, glass cabinets full of bollocks, fucking shit, because they have to be seen to be this. And like, even Scott was saying today about that fucking most successful club in the world fucking nonsense. You know what I mean? They're now regretting that they said that. We were laughing at them the whole time they were doing it.
No, they're trying to get rid of it and they're saying, no, it was a load of shite anyway. Why did we even do that? And it's like as if to say, like, don't you, I mean, do they think for a second we're going to fucking take that lie on and fucking cast it as our lie?
No.
They're not interested.
No. But what we will say
I do think we should have 5 stars next.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Scott, they've taken they've gently removed the fucking 5 stars in New Jersey.
Have they? I didn't notice that.
That's gone. And what are we on? We're on 54. So we passed it 4 years ago. Four league ones ago. So it makes no fucking odds. And that's what I'm saying. The cunts will get that tattooed in their necks and everything. Five fucking. There's cunts on there with Novo and 5 stars and they're fucking across their shoulder blades. Fucking fuck off. Do you know what I mean? But that's to compensate for not having a European Cup. They have to look up this other ballots.
That's exactly what it is, Marty.
See when you're on the trains here and that, like conductors and that, they come up on the summer's day, they've got the short sleeve shirt on, the 5 stars down the arm and all that. You know,
do you know what I mean? What the fuck? Like they have to have these accolades. They always have to be seen to be better and brighter and fucking banger. But you're right. Once you've stripped that all away, they'll stop coming to the ground, and they'll just go on and on about how things were in the olden days. Oh, you wouldn't go on that same Rangers now. That's not the same. When Goff was there and fucking Haill was there, that's when they were the real Rangers. Fuck.
But see, the thing is, right? See when they died, right, and then they get reincarnated, fucking. They were all still staunch and fucking. They were like, I mean, they followed them in all the lower divisions, sell out every ground and all that, right? Because they had this belief that they would get back and they would do what the old Rangers done. Obviously, they believed it was. They didn't believe it was still the same club. The kid at own this fucking made up shite in their head that's the same club, right? But see now, like this entity that they're watching is slowly fucking dying in front of their eyes. No physically, because they don't like owe MD money apart for their shareholders, right? So they're not going to get shut down or anything. HMRC isn't going to come and shut them down. They're operating as a business, not a very successful one, but they're operating because they've got a fan base that's kind of funding it, but they don't have much spare cash or any cash, but they're basically trudging along. But once they fans start leaving, then they become a Hearts and a Hibs and an Aberdeen, and they need a manager then that comes in that's got a spark that can basically do what Jimmy Tillins did with Aberdeen. Because
and that could happen, Jason. Do you know what I mean? They could get a good manager in who knows the ground, or as I always say, like a manager. The gold standard for me for a manager is a manager who can get players to follow him. You know, who goes, I want to work with that guy, so I don't mind in a different league, or I don't mind that I'm making a wee bit less money because I really like this guy. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to go and work for him. But like the way the managerial merry-go-round now goes, they're even fucking few and far between now because cunts just get sacked and go, ah, fuck it, you know, I'm going to be a millionaire anyway.
So see, if one of us was to take our Rangers, right, obviously we just try and shut them down, right? But in hypothetical terms, right, if you were to take our Rangers, what would any use do then?
You would put in 11 Scotch Protestants.
I would try.
Tell them to boot all around them.
Big heavy-handed prods.
You'd be going around the fucking Presbyterian ministries and saying who the fucking head up all.
But here's the thing, Marty. You can't find those people anymore because they don't give a fuck.
No, that's what I mean.
And see, the thing is, right, say Derek McInnes has already knocked them back, right? And Derek McInnes is probably the safest bet that they could get.
Yeah.
Right?
Ex-player, knows the league.
Aye. And
good reputation.
But he's fit, but isn't great. He's a good manager. He's a good kind of solid manager, but he's not really going to do anything. But would he take that job?
I see. Here's the reason I don't think he'd take that job, right? Because every time they get a new manager, they go, "He's here, the Messiah. He has come. He's the fucking. He's going to fix it all." That's a lot of pressure, right?
But the thing is,
Derek McInnes is a decent manager. Again, he plays fucking basic enough football, but he does get results, right? And while that's probably what they need at best right now, right? They would not be able to handle the fact that someone's coming in to just do that. They would want someone to come in and go, "He is fucking here."
But the thing is, though, Derek McInnes is one of them, and he knows the club. You know what I mean? He played for them, and he knows the people involved. So It's really, really, really strange that he did not come back. I 100% thought he would have taken
Was it
it.
not? Was it not because he couldn't bring Tony Docherty with him? Was that not the? Was
That's,
that not the
that's,
deal
that's,
breaker?
that's what
Was
I
that-
heard. He wanted to bring
Well,
the
there you are.
backroom staff. That was
Apparently
the
so.
that was the he wanted to bring Tony Docherty and that. They says no. You need
He's
to
not
come.
there. He's not there now. So maybe it does
right.
open. The thing for Rangers is whoever the manager is, you should be beating every other team. You should be confident of winning most of 34 games a season. So you should always be up there competing.
I know, but see, too,
Defense.
Liam, when you've got a season like this one here, right? It's like us the year we had Mowbray. You just go into a fucking death spiral.
Yeah, no, completely.
You know what I mean? And you know rightly the only way of stopping this is by getting the manager to fuck. You know what I mean? It gets to a point where you just can't ride it out anymore and you have to make a change because the players don't have any respect for him or they will be working for him. And you just know it's coming. And they can't really do it, I don't think, because of the fucking... And see, in fairness too, it happened to Gerrard. Gerrard had a hard time when he came, but he stuck it out. And
you know from that, Jason, we were coming back from Cheltenham that time, the start of COVID. We were playing him on the Sunday. Right, he'd have been gone by the Monday.
COVID completely fucking saved his bacon. Like,
Changed
really did.
Things for him there.
Totally. But even so, I was genuinely surprised. I suppose it was because of who it was. It was Steven Gerrard. If it had been a lesser light in football terms, then I gassed him long before that. But they stuck with him. Do you know what I mean? And I was actually surprised that they had done because they had put so much fucking effort into getting him. Like the Dave King down licking his balls. And I'm feeling all the try and fucking make him come schmoozing him or whatever else. So they threw the kitchen sink at getting him. So then they sort of had to ride it out. But there's no question he would have been out the fucking door that week without a shadow of a doubt. But
I think, like as you say, they need to get rid of that Clement ASAP because he's just fucking he's at it, right?
Yep.
And they need to get Derek McInnes because the thing is, I think Derek McInnes this time would probably go to them if obviously because they'll need to give him the backroom staff and whatever, but he'll
I don't know, Jason. I don't know, Jason, because see the state.
I love that, Scott. That's brilliant. See that?
You see the state of the club itself. Like it's teetering on the fucking brink. So I'm not sure McGuinness would go at the minute because he's looking around going, there's no structure. There's no youth structure. They've appointed this guy, Niels, whatever the fuck his name is, and he was the one, what do you call him? Chris Boyd was giving him dog's abuse last night. He was saying this guy has gone from being a 5'8" fucking football scout, to the head of football development at Rangers. What the fuck? This guy last year was starting on the edge of pitches, scouting players, like youth players, and he's been fucking accelerated right up to the top of a club. Do you know what I mean? So McGuinness is looking at all that going, I'm not going in there. What the fuck? You've no board. You don't have a chief executive. You don't have a chairman. You don't have a fucking...
See what they should...
Sorry, Liam, on you go.
See what they should try and do, like in the spirit of reconciliation for the EBTs and to try and raise some money. They should rename the stadium in the revenue arena and just try and get them
Let's go to the IRA for an update. Sky
get themselves some money in the bank.
But the thing is too, just you mentioned it earlier about the tax man's not at their door at the minute. Do you know what I mean? It is all those directors and that sort of stuff, but like 120 million or something they've fucking lost in 10 years. Like, what the fuck? I mean, that's like a full year of our accounts down the tubes. Do you know what I mean? Like, take all our money for 1 year and just piss it away. That's what they've basically done. It's fucking nuts.
You know what? As much as I hate to agree with Chris Boyd, he's like, all that money spent, he's like, equipment's terrible.
Like he was right what he was saying last night. And Chris Sutton winds him up, but Chris Sutton was actually just sitting agreeing with him last night. He kept saying, Chris said this, Chris said this, Chris said this, Chris said that.
But he loves a wee dig, though. They're a rotten watch. They're a really rotten watch.
No, the line I love was when Celtic pulled their trunks down in September or in August or whatever it was. He had no
Pulled their
comeback
pants down.
whatsoever. Celtic pulled their pants down.
Red Flintstone there, were you saying yabba dabba do?
Oh, okay, brilliant. Oh my God.
Anyway, back to the job at hand. What team?
So
you playing?
so hold on, right? Back to the job at hand, fucking right, because you all wanted a win last night and I wanted a draw. So everybody's having the shits and giggles, but you know what I mean? I was hoping for an early dirty
You want
draw.
Celtic to draw?
Well, I'm afraid of going back to what Jason said. I'm afraid of sacking Clement. I had this argument last year. I wanted them to hang on to B. You all wanted them fucking out. And I was going, no, because they might get somebody good. Keep them. Just string them along with a load of draws. But it was so funny. Like, fucking hell, it was hilarious. You know, really was. Piss funny.
It was fucking quality, man. I tell you, who was it? Your man, is he Coltano on the huddle board?
Kiltane, yeah.
Aye, he was looking for you. I phoned you last night, Liam. Him and his mate Ray were in the lounge.
Aye.
I was down in 203, mate. I didn't get there till late. I couldn't be asked coming back up again, but that's a shame.
Aye, he was looking to get Leatherway. Good lad, Ian.
He's been to Everton games, has he not, before?
His big mate Ray's in Evertonian as well.
Right, cool. Yeah.
Ian came with us the first time we went to San Mamés with Eusebio and that.
Right, okay.
He came to the first game. Aye, he's a good guy.
He was over with me years ago in Belfast for a tour. I took him around the graveyard.
Aye, sound.
Years ago.
Mayo man. But aye. So there you go. So what are we thinking about Saturday? Right. So what's Scott, you and Liam. I know Scott's
I'm thinking 1 o'clock beers. Be pretty dumb.
We'll go at 1 o'clock and then just saunter along.
No, I'll go down to my mate Tam's house.
Aye.
Tam's, he's got to be doing Castle White, and then we'll go for there. But no, man, I don't know. I've got it in my head. As I've said to you a million times, I hate being confident about something, but I think we're a good team. I think they're a decent team. It's like you said earlier on. I'm really looking forward to the atmosphere. I can imagine it's buzzing. I think they'll cause us no end of problems, but I think we'll come out all right at the end. I hope we get it done in 90 minutes.
I think it'll be a battle.
I heard they've sold 13,000. So, and I'll tell you another thing, Scott.
Glory hunting fox.
I don't know about yourself or Liam. Have you heard of any spare tickets floating about? I've not heard any.
Not really for us, no.
I've heard of none. I've had loads of folk asking me for them. I don't have any spare. I've not heard of any float. I mean, because obviously, what's the capacity? 49 or something?
I thought it's 50 something, 50 now.
52 or something? Right, okay. So we've got, say we've got 39,000 tickets. Would we have 39,000 in the home cup ticket scheme?
No,
I
don't think it is. I don't think it is that many. Is it 50,000 or 40, 48?
I was thinking 49 in my head.
So what happened was we had the first ballot. So I normally buy the tickets for people in my network. So I got offers, 5 offers come through out of 6. I was only one. The ticket in my name I didn't get an offer on. So I had to log in under Zoe's details to buy all the tickets. I bought 5 tickets, took a screenshot of the seats, sent my pals a message to say, I've got your tickets, so they're all coming to one place. And then in the second ballot, my ticket came in, because I think the second ballot was just basically everybody on the Home Cup ticket scheme who hasn't had an offer the first time could get one. And then 2 days later, the ticket arrives. I'm like, why the fuck is this come before the 5 that I've brought?
Right.
So I'm on there checking my ticket history, no transaction. Checking my bank, no transaction. I'm like, oh my God. I've taken money off people here and I bought all the tickets for them and there's no sale. So I jumped up to Celtic Park last Friday at 11 o'clock as soon as the ticket office opened. The second ballot had shut on the Thursday afternoon. And I even had screenshots of where, like on your browsing history, where it had gone from like the ticket site to the card payment and then back again, but it must have just failed for some. I don't know, timed out or failed. lucky the girl gave me the tickets for everybody that I'd bought them for.
Oh, so didn't they actually go through?
It didn't go through, but I'd actually screenshotted the seats and everything and sent them to my pal because I got him 3 together, him and his 2 kids together. I'd sent him the screenshot, but for whatever reason, it must have timed out or the payment. I don't know what happened. I was working at the same time while I was doing all this. It didn't go through. So, but I think everyone in the Home Cup ticket scheme has had the opportunity to buy one.
Right. Okay. So
but there's been no public sale. There was no season ticket general sale.
Because obviously you've got the corporate as well.
Yeah.
That's a couple of thousand, right? So say they've got 13,000, say 3,000 corporate. I don't know. Then you've got all your debentures. They've got the right to buy their own seats. So that's maybe another couple of thousand. So you're talking maybe there's 18,000 wasn't available for every Celtic supporter. So 32. So maybe aye. So everybody's maybe get sorted, but the amount of people asking me if they make for their mates that's got season tickets that have tickets, loads, and I've not heard of any spares at all. I've not really asked them because I'm just like me and Ellie are going with Mick and boys and stuff. We're just going to do our own thing. But
I've had one boy asking me, but I've not heard. You never mentioned anything until now. I've not heard anything. I had one that I'm taking my pal for his 50th birthday, but nobody's been talking about needing tickets at all. You know what I mean?
I've quite a lot asking me.
Right.
So it should the place will be buzzing. They'll be right good, and they'll be buzzing. The Aberdeen fans, it'll be a proper atmosphere because they'll be coming down believing they can win.
Yeah.
So it should be good. Look forward to it. Where are you going, Chapman?
I think so. So, like I say, I'm going with a couple of boys. So I think they'll probably come over, and I think Smithy's playing in Chapman's, isn't he? Boulavoga playing at 2:30. So maybe have a wander down there and a few, and then walk down. I'm not 100% sure yet, but that sounds like a good plan.
We're going to Ellie's going to drive, and but we're going to leave early. Maybe go to Yardgar for a wee curry, and then
cool.
Walk up to the snooker club, Minnesota's. Get in there and get a few. But the last time we met Sean and all that, we came in, there's nearly a bad bother with Aberdeen fans.
I was just going to say that. I would expect to be some bother on that side.
I know, but I'll just go anyway. Get in there for a few, and then just saunter along to the game.
It's a shame, really, because the options are limited, aren't they? Really, there's not. My pal was talking about going to Vicky Road and Queen's Park Cafe or whatever, but I think it'll be mobbed down there, wouldn't it? Be really busy.
But the thing is, if they've got 13,000, they'll only bit the saying that 13,000 is probably at that full Rangers end.
Oh, that's plenty. Yeah, that's plenty for. They've got all the best boozers that side as well, really. So they've got plenty of options there. But you've not got many options on our side, have you?
Aye, but you can still go in. It's not. At the end of the day, you're unlucky. Meet fucking balloon balls are going to cause bother with you. They'll be fine. So we'll get into the snooker club, get a few pints in and then head up to the game. But I'm looking forward to it.
I'm really looking forward to it. 5:30 is perfect, isn't it, as well?
Aye, it's good. And then on it. So what do we reckon with Leipzig? Scott was telling us, Marty, before he came on, that Leipzig are a good team, although they've got 0 points in the Champions League so far. But probably won't be doing a pod before then. But what are we thinking for next week then?
Well, that's the kind of thing. It's not that long ago since we played Leipzig, so we know what to expect. I suppose it might not be exactly the same squad of players, but the philosophy. Well, I'm assuming it's fairly similar. The way they play football is fairly similar. So look, I treat all these games as a bonus, and we're at home. These are the 2 crunch games, and we're still well in with a shout. So we should be fucking going for it. And at this, Rodgers has really managed this last couple of games really well. Getting the likes of Carter Vickers time on the and rotating the squad, giving people rest, dropping people all together, sorting out injuries that need to be sorted out, like McGregor, even though they might not be terribly serious. Just don't take any risks, And it's such a fierce time, and then so you have this time, then you have the international break, and then you have the Christmas period where you have fucking God knows how many matches over that couple of weeks, Christmas time. You know what I mean? So this really is where your squad meets its maker, and players like McCann and that should be expected to be weighing in, and helping us get through. So it's tough, like, do you know what I mean? It really is. And then Champions League matches, the players must never sleep. Do you know what I mean? Their sleep patterns must be fucking destroyed because you're playing some of the games are really late, maybe not getting home to 2 a.m. They're out doing media duties to well after midnight. Do you know what I mean? I saw the tent outside, the media tent and stuff like that. So it's just a fucking different level of football. And it's a level of football that we need to be at. You know what I mean? You need to get used to it. And if you're bobbing into the Champions League every year, you can't. I'm not sure what the coefficients like this year. We have to finish 15th, don't we, in the national coefficients? So fucking isn't it?
That's for the season after, though. It's always a season. There's always a gap of a season there. So I think
we're playing qualifiers unless we win the Champions League next year, aren't we?
Yeah.
Fuck's what it is, So you know what I mean. And Hearts and Huns and Hearts have both won. So it's, there's every point you rake in, we need to do it. So fucking go for the win.
Last week was, I think, 2 wins and a draw and no goals conceded. I think it was the first time ever. So look, it is the level of football that we aspire to be at. So if you're going to fucking be there, you may as well do it right. So I'm assuming as tactics won't be. I suppose you've already spoken about that Atalanta. I was actually really surprised. It actually reminded me of the John Barnes fucking drain pipe formation, but it actually worked. It was like keep everything tight within 20 yards of the center spot, and let them launch in crosses.
Did John Barnes have a formation?
What's that?
Did he have a formation, John Barnes?
He did. Remember, he used to talk about the 4-2-2-2-2-2-2-2 fucking 2-2-2-2.
Spoke a load of shite.
I know, but then it was christened the fucking drain pipe, And
Christmas tree, was it Christmas tree formation?
No, it was like a drain pipe. That's what they said. Everything just went fucking down, give away goals, and you had no width, so you were never making any fucking. You were never doing anything creative anyway. So but it seemed to me to be that type of philosophy, but it worked. You know what I mean? It was all just let them lump balls in from the fucking sides, see the space in the wings, keep it tight in the middle, and let your 2 centre halves just blatter everything that fucking moved, and it worked. And there was hurry moments too, like they had chances, but they could have scored. But you just need that wee bit of luck sometimes, and it always evades us at that level. So to get a bit of luck was just like, thank fuck, So fingers crossed we keep that wee bit of luck with us next week as well.
Right, we're nearly at 3 hours. Let's fucking wrap it up. Fuck.
I have a house full of kids. This house is like a fucking box of fucking worms. Everywhere you look, you fucking sit down to get a cup of tea and you're sitting on a chair. What the fuck? They're all sleeping. I snuck out of the room.
Wrap it
A
up.
big Halloween party.
Wrap it up. The fuck.
And this night too always reminds me of the other thing. This always reminds me of Halloween. Always reminds me of the Juventus game. That was a Halloween night. Remember?
Do you know what? I watched that game in a tiki bar in Key West, dressed up as Batman.
As you do. As you fucking do.
The Cape Crusader.
Here, worst Batman ever.
Oh, the worst thing was, Marty, right? I ended up going. Here's the worst part. I ended up going to a boat party later that night, right? Not everybody goes to like boat parties, yacht parties, right? And I was dressed up like I was Adam West, polystyrene Batman, right?
Fuck me,
boat, right? There was one other Batman.
Rodney.
He was fucking Michael Keaton, fucking leather suit Batman. I look like a cartoon version of him. Right?
You were the only fools and horses fucking Batman.
I have a photograph somewhere of him the gar. Hey folks, I think that's just wrap the fuck with. It'll be, you know what?
By
the way, can we mention before we go? We didn't mention that, right? Can somebody explain what Frederick doesn't know? There was this. It was some sort of memorial, Marty. It was
the fucking Remembrance Day thing, but it looked like the Apprentice boy at Derry. I think that was what the crowd was. They must have been having some fucking
trumpet
ceremony.
trumpet player obviously sacked it out.
No, hold on. This guy give the fucking going down at the sun of the morning we shall remember. Then they give it the whole lot, and then he asked for a minute's silence. And this fucking Comanche just started going par par. No trumpet, just fucking par 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 par. It was
What do you
the fucking like my
What do
mates
you
were sitting
do?
around going, I don't even know what to say.
What do you
Don't even
do?
know
Like
what to say.
they turn around and go, "Here, mate, what the fuck?" Like, or do you just let it go? Like, I mean, because at one point I was going, "This cunt's only a bee stick away from fucking doing the fucking the Star Wars death, fucking Imperial Death March, fucking tune."
Fuck me. They're the maddest. They're the maddest bastards on the planet. Like what?
I
the
have
fuck?
watched that about, I'd say, 90 times.
Everybody's saying the same. I can't stop watching this. It's just like what the fuck?
He was
What
well
is going through this?
That's fucking.
Amazing. Well, that's the best way to end it is to say.
You should have teed that up and play it out. Do it as an outro.
Fuck here. Well, here, you're asking for preparation, Marty. Fuck off.
Yeah, fair enough.
We
Right,
will
God
see
bless
you
you.
hopefully next week after some sort of. You know what? I have high hopes and high faith. There you go.
I'm a huge Joe.
All right, folks. Hail. Take it easy.
Well.
Cheers. Hello, guys.
Is us.